Welcome back to the Marketing Box podcast. Today on our entrepreneur feature, we have a good, great friend of mine. I've had a lot of fun with, and today ought to be a lot of fun, my brother. How you doing, man? You're looking good. Sharp as a tack, brother.
I'm a little nervous. I mean, this could go really, really well for me, or really, really.
And listen, you got to quit this. I see you got a habit of beating on this table, and it's gonna hurt these people's ears on the thing too. So
okay. You got that.
Yeah. So. Dude, you're looking sharp as a tack, man.
I appreciate that. I saw where Holly and Heather were here.
Yeah.
And they were dressed up. I didn't want to come in a T-shirt and short pants, so I couldn't let them look better than me.
Yeah, we were afraid that they were going to be looking at the TV too much, so we put them on this side of the table.
Well, I'm going to be better than those two. I told you that on Facebook. I'm going to deliver on that.
Charles, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you do, and then we'll jump into how I got to meet you, man, sure. and then who knows what else we'll dive into.
Okay, well, hopefully a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what I do, and in tongue-in-cheek, I tell people, I teach spastic boys and girls in Mandeville how to play basketball. And it's tongue-in-cheek, but that's what I do. I train boys and girls in basketball. And I started a business about 20 years ago. I lost a job. Actually, I had a contract job, and the contract ran out, and I couldn't find another job. And I thought I could come back to Mandeville and find a job. I'm not a good networker, okay? I mean, I went to school, went to college, got a job, did my thing.
Yeah, because I
didn't know people.
And you're not a BSer.
I'm a quiet person.
Yeah,
I'm a quiet person. Yeah. I'm very solitary, and I thought that was a good thing. It is if you're always going to be employed. But when I got unemployed, I realized I don't know anybody. So it took me. I didn't get a job. I couldn't find a job. I had about a year severance package, and a good friend of mine, Kelly Petrie, who runs the dance studio, a Petrie Dance Studio, which was one of the only ones around for a long time. She said, "Start training kids in basketball. You taught my kids. You taught a neighbor, and they're doing fantastic. Do that."
You just did it because they lived near you or something?
Because they live in the neighborhood. I trained them on their goal.
Okay.
And they end up being really good young. I go to their games, and Kelly goes, "You need to do that." No one's doing it. And but I was an entrepreneur. You know, my dad told me, and I got 3 girls, and I keep telling them what to do. They don't listen. But I tell them, you don't need to do what everybody else does. Do your own thing. Have your own business.
Yep.
Because in my day, my dad drilled into me and my 2 brothers, corporate job, company car, insurance, and a 401k. That's what I had to have. So that's what I look for.
What'd your dad do?
My dad was corporate business. He worked for liquor companies.
Okay. And
he got fortunate and got in with Bacardi in the mid-'70s. It was a small company. And then right about 80, the daiquiri craze hit. Oh, yeah. And the company just exploded. So he had a tremendous job with a small company. He had about 80 employees and a worldwide company. Cubans who took care of family. So, I thought that's how corporations worked. Man, you get a big corporation, you're a number. They don't even know where you live, or they don't even care if you're alive.
No, you're like a walk-on LSU's football team.
Exactly. So I thought that's how corporations worked, like Bacardi. And I didn't. My dad was terrible at giving advice about business. And I worked for corporations. And
well, maybe because he went down this path where
he thought it was all the same.
Yeah. It's like this is just what you do.
Yeah. My dad could only work with Bacardi, Cuban company based, very family oriented. The CEO would come to New Orleans, and he'd stay at the house.
A Bacardi.
They wouldn't stay at hotels. They'd stay at the house, eat at the house, because they were just oriented that way. Yeah. So I thought all corporations that way. It took me about 8 years to realize, being bounced around, that it wasn't. And got a good job, lasted a little while, turned into another corporate job, left that, and I found myself unemployed.
Yep.
With 3 kids. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do? So I started a basketball. And at the time, all I knew, and corporate prepared me for it, was a P&L. I just knew my ex told me, this is the amount of money you got to make every month to take care of us.
Gotcha.
And that was it.
That was it.
So I just built a business from zero to where I knew every month I had to clear $5,000 and give it to her. And we didn't start that way.
Right.
I had 20 kids, 15 kids.
How did, when you got started, because you've never really been big advertising and marketing. So when you got started, would you just go hustle around the parks and stuff?
Well, what happened was I was fortunate with Kelly's kids. They were in junior high, and they were pretty good.
So people
knew that.
I got you.
And then I had a daughter, my middle one, who was outstanding. So people knew me from her.
Yeah.
And then that helped me. But it was just a matter of time. You know, Kelly told me, she goes, Charles, you'll have 15 people, and then you'll lose 4. And then you'll go from 15 to 11. And then out of those 11, they'll have 8 friends eventually. And you get to 20. And then those 3 people you got there that came in late will have 10 more friends. Mm-hmm. And that's how it snowballs.
Yeah.
And at the bottom line, you know, it's pressure because, you know, training Caleb.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be friends with you, I got to deliver.
Right.
Because you know what good is and what it isn't.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of pressure. So the better the players I put out, the more I got. Yeah. And that was why, you know, I really lost a job corporately, because it wasn't a job, it was personal. You know, like you and I are friends.
Yeah.
Because everything with you is personal.
Exactly.
Everything with me is personal.
That's
Some
right.
people don't get that.
No.
It's a hard world nowadays for people like us.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because you've been able to withstand the culture, this crazy culture that we're in.
Well, I never participated in it.
Yeah, you just didn't. You didn't acknowledge it. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I learned that through corporate. You know, my dad, I think, kind of like you and your brothers, we tell stories. Mm-hmm. You know, we're a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't raised with a spoon. No. You know, you had a problem, you fought it out.
Yeah.
And I'm 57 years old, and I hate to say it, but I don't talk to my brothers. Because if we get next to each other, we're going to be fist fighting.
Yeah. I tell my kids this all the time, and I was reading something about Gen X. They call us the lost generation, right? Because it's true. I would leave my house in the summer at 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. I lived in Old Metairie, go to Pontiff Metairie Playground. And, dude, throughout that day, I learned situational awareness, risk assessment, how to get out of trouble, how to bargain, how to negotiate. Yeah. And so we were out there having to make these grown-up decisions that, you know, as I look back on it, that's why I was so much more prepared because, man, like I dealt with things that an adult dealt with. And we were rascals too. We got in the, dude, listen, you leave kids alone that long, they start to blow shit up. They start to, you know, so we find ourselves one day, this is, I love to tell this story, but we decided at Pontiff Playground, one afternoon a week, the square dancers, the old people would come over in one of these little hallway rooms that they had.
Right.
So we get this idea that said, you know what, there's a lot of bullfrogs on this playground. We're going to go fill up a bucket of bullfrogs. We're going to open the door and we're going to throw them in, and then we're going to run and we're going to watch them all come out screaming. So this is the way we have it planned in our head. So we get to the day, man, it's nerve-wracking. There's 3 or 4 of us. We get the frogs, dude, and then, man, who's going to do it? So I wanted to volunteer, and I'm going to open the door and throw them in. So we do it. We run. I mean, we ran because it's right next to the track, right in Pontiff. Right, so we ran all the way to the other side of the track, almost like you're leaving the playground. We see them. They're pouring out. 1, 2, all of them. They're screaming. So these people were you know, looking for us, dude. And so they found us and they brought us and they interrogated us, you know. So being able to sit there and get our way, we talked our way out of it, you know. Right. And then Metairie Country Club, the fairway is right against the fence. So we cut a hole in the fence and the golfers would hit it down the fairway, and the first fairway, we'd go out and steal the ball and go in. And so, you know, you're dealing with this stuff and you get caught sometimes. And so you have to learn how to you got to figure it out, man.
You know? I tell people all the time, my dad passed away about 5 years ago. And, you know, when you had to speak at the funeral, I'm not a person who prepares. My mother told me something a long time ago, and I don't keep many things in my head that I use all the time, but my mother said, if you're ever going to talk, do it from the heart.
Yep.
People that write things down, that doesn't count. You got to feel the moment and understand it.
And whatever comes out,
whatever comes out is what you really meant.
Yep.
Don't be artificial or fake. So my dad passes away, and I had so many things I wanted to say, but he taught me that it's just okay to feel good and bad at the same time. You know, he wasn't one of these guys writing notes to us all the time. He let you live life. When you're in trouble, you bailed yourself out. If he had to get involved in it, he would. Mm-hmm. And if it was, you know, loving you, hugging you, it was it. If it was wearing you out, it was wearing you out. And he taught me to compartmentalize everything. And that's what's really got me through life now. People ask about, I have a couple of friends that I do some stuff with. I said, you got to be able to compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Take that emotion, put it there, and keep it there.
Yep.
It can't affect this.
Yeah, and that's what's happened today.
And it happens today, and people don't know how to do it. And the success of my business is talking to you and parents about situations that I went through. Mm-hmm. You had a successful high school career. I got recruited to go to De La Salle by 5 high school coaches. And I picked the wrong school because my parents weren't athletic. They didn't know. I'm the guinea pig. So the first one always is the experiment. Yeah. My dad told me a long time ago, he goes, you're going to be the experiment. So just take it, wipe it off, and keep on going. But I was always it. I was the best player in my teams. Yeah. Get in high school, different situation. Way away from Kenner, uptown. Yeah. And I just thought my life was great. It's always going to be great. Man, I had adversity. And everybody kissing my ass at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. Those high school coaches want to kiss my ass. They made me prove that I was better than everybody else. I just walked on the field and everybody goes, well, that's him, leave him alone. Yeah. In football, or basketball, or baseball. High school, you got to produce. Yep. And then I got caught up in, politics, which people don't understand.
Oh, big time.
My parents didn't understand that. My dad's like, why are you the best player in one team? 8th grade, 9th grade, you can't even play. I'm like, I don't know. Yep. He thinks it's me. I ain't done one thing different. It's the coach. Yep. The coach is my JV coach is he's banging one of the players' moms. So this kid all of a sudden goes from being garbage to being the player. You're like, well, how did that kid jump in front of me? Yeah. You don't know in 9th grade he's banging a mom. And it's politics. So in my business, you ask me why it's successful now, it's the advice I give. Yep. Hey, Sean, don't go there. That coach ain't for you. Yeah. I do that all right now from August through October. It's advice. People calling. What do I do? What do I do? That guy's no good as a coach. That guy's a guy you want to go to. Yep. That guy is not good for your kid. That guy is. Yeah,
and the majority, based on what I've seen, and I'll reference back to the days with Bobby Conlon and the coaches that they had. These guys, the guys that are out there coaching, man, they don't. It's like it's for a stipend or something, man, because they're not preparing to do something successful. They're just getting. It seems like they're just getting by.
Well, so many of them never even played the sport sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
They're getting out there. They love it. I laugh all the time because I get kids in 7th grade, 8th grade. They'll come to training. They're brand new. I want to make the junior high team. You play ball before? No. I'm like, what? And their parents are like, well, he's never played, but he wants to make the junior high team. In our day, your dad would have never let you go try out for a team that you never played a sport in.
No, not at all.
Which I love this generation now because they're not afraid. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, the odds of you making a team are 0.
Yeah, and when we were younger, everybody played all 4 sports.
You played everything.
You played it. So, man,
but the people that didn't play sports didn't come out 8th grade year to play.
No.
I go to these tryouts for Mandeville. Yeah. Some of these Fontainebleau. And I'm looking at these kids. I'm like, okay, I love their enthusiasm. But if you make that team, the team's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I ain't got to see the team. If you're on the team's bad. But it happens year in and year out. In our day, that would have never happened.
No, it would have never happened. So listen, I was the stud at the playground.
Right.
I get to Brother Martin. We got Derek Collins. We got Saraparu. Yeah. These guys are jumping, hanging on the rim in 8th grade. I said, what the heck? What's going on here? So I chose football real quick.
Really?
Yeah,
I played those guys in basketball for Biddy. They played uptown and North Lakeshore. They played for Kenner.
Yep.
So they all did it. And they all played together.
Chris Fontenot,
all those guys. Brother Martin was really good.
Yeah, but we had a great and that was the other thing.
Good group.
My 8th
good
grade
cycle.
Yeah, so I said, man, this basketball doesn't look like my thing, and it was my favorite sport. I said, I think I can.
See, football was my favorite sport.
Yeah.
In Kenner, we won the championship a couple of times, and the best player in Kenner at the time was the guy who played John Curtis.
Reggie Dupart. Yep.
All right, and then the John Curtis guys came over. Corey came over. He goes, come to John Curtis. My dad's like, not going to John Curtis. Small school, just play football. And Corey told me, he goes, you're making a mistake. Goes, you're going to places where there are no coaches.
Yeah.
And you don't understand that.
No.
You don't understand what coaching matters.
No.
He goes, you're going to go to a high school that has absolutely 0 coaches in a sport you want to play. And then, dude, I look back at it at De La Salle, my 8th grade year, my basketball coach was a typing instructor. Then my 9th grade coach was a graduate assistant from Tulane who knew nothing about basketball. And my JV coach was Joey Hans, who was 5'5", baseball guy, who was my nightmare. So I didn't have a basketball coach until my junior year, really. And you think you're going to a 5A school, 4A at the time.
Yeah.
That's big in basketball. Not the case. I tell kids all the time, you're not going to get a better basketball person than me probably the rest of your life.
Right.
No matter where you play at, what high school. But you don't get that. You don't believe that.
Yeah, why do you think that's the case, man? Is it just...
Good people don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
The parents have killed it. It's not worthwhile. You know how I am. You don't talk to me about basketball.
No. And it's interesting, dude. So just to frame it up for everybody, so Charles has a warehouse in Covington, and I think you have a half court now.
I have a half court now.
Yeah. You used to have 2 courts when I was.
I have 2 courts. My neighbor screwed me because I didn't get a signature. I still want to kill him.
Yeah.
I ain't got around to it because my girlfriend's calling me down.
We're gonna leave him alone for right now.
Okay.
All right.
But brother, it's back there.
Yeah.
It's back there.
But think about this, dude. There's back then 30, 40, 50 parents pulled up in the front row, watching every move that happens, and dude, listen, I remember that time you were so aggravated because you were talking to kids and they were fidgeting and they weren't paying attention. And listen, I'm a friend of yours, and so it's like, all right.
I know y'all gave me heads up every now and then.
Yeah, so Caleb, all of Caleb's acting up. Go stand in the bathroom. And I'm like, I was there that day, and I'm like, well, shit, how long is he going to leave him in the bathroom for? So he just stayed in the bathroom. So nobody else could use the bathroom because there was only one bathroom.
One bathroom.
There was one bathroom, yeah. But dude, this is what I saw out of you, though. It's almost like for every time that you kind of lost it on the kids, man, you always were getting back to that kid and making sure that he knew it was all good, dude. And so I think what happened
is that's the hook.
Yeah, dude. And so the for the parents, that's something I've really been interested to talk to you about when you started and where you are now. Because what led me to you is I get to Pelican Park with Caleb, and I hadn't done this Little League thing in a long time. And I'm like, dude, this is terrible. The first team I go on, every team gets a trophy. And I'm like, dude, this is like really starting to happen. I've never seen this before. What do you mean every team gets like a medal or a trophy? Right. I'm like, man, I got to get my kid out of this because there's no instruction here. And I'm gonna kill him if I'm the one doing it.
Right.
And so
that's so you don't have to be the bad person. I can be the bad person.
Yeah, dude. But listen, we trusted our kids. I put them in your hands. Right. And it was your game, man. And so you don't do things the typical way. And you say things, you're almost like a shock jock and basketball coach that's trying to shake the kids and say, listen, this basketball is just what you're here to do.
But it's about life.
It's about life, yeah.
Yeah, and people, Sean, you and I were raised, my neighbor, if I got out of line at my neighbor's house, he could grab me.
Yeah.
You got grabbed by other people.
Oh, there's no question.
Parents.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Somehow we got offline where you can't touch kids. And I tell parents all the time, when you come in, they're brand new, I said, listen, I want effort, focus, and attention. You do those 3 things, and if your kid's great, fantastic. If your kid's horrible, I'm still going to love them. Yeah. If they don't do those 3 things, we're going to have a problem, and I'm going to fix it. Now, if you don't want me touching your kid, you got to go somewhere else. But when I touch them, I'm going to grab them a little bit, give them some information, and then 2 seconds, 3 minutes later, I'm going to hug and kiss them again to make sure they understand I care. Because people think, kids don't know. Kids know. You can tell a kid he's good, and they're not. They know you're full. They know you're full of shit. Yeah. So they don't believe you. I'm telling you, Caleb, you're no good. If you don't get working at it, you're never going to be any good. So he appreciates that. Yep. It's a trust thing.
You're giving him a roadmap to where he wants to go.
To get out where he's at now to where he wants to go.
Yep.
And then Every kid's different. You know, when I first started doing this, nobody trained. You know, I started training, honestly, because of Kelly, but Jason Maravich. I was in Franco's one day, and he's training a kid. And I'm training Hannah. She's like 8, 9 years old at the time. And I asked Nick Franco, who's there, friends of the family, friends of my daughter. I said, Nick, what's that guy doing with that little boy over there? He goes, that's Jason Maravich. I'm like, Pete Maravich? He goes, yeah, Pete Maravich's son. I said, what's he doing? He goes, he's training that kid. And Nick's like 10 years old. I'm like, he goes, he gets paid. He works with my dad's club, and he trains kids individually. And Jason had his muscle shirt on, sweatpants, his ear plugs in when they had the little, the thing.
Yep.
And he's listening, and he's talking to somebody on the phone, and the kid's just shooting balls. He's grabbing a ball, throwing it to him, grabbing it, throwing it to him. And the kid's just running around shooting a ball for an hour. I said, Nick, well, he probably gets paid $80 and he gives $30 to my dad. He keeps 50. I'm like, okay, that's a business. How many people has he got? He goes, he's got about 60 people. At the same time, Kelly's telling me to do the thing.
Wow.
You know, because Sean, I'm doing about 200,000 a year. I'm going from 200 to 0. I got to figure a job out.
Right.
With 3 kids, a house note, my wife doesn't work. And then it hit me, okay, I'm a business operations manager, sales director. If I get 15 kids an hour for 3 hours or 20 kids, and I looped into a business.
Yeah, so how did you, when you got your first gym set up, you just went and hustled the equipment up and figured out what you needed to just get started, huh?
Kelly, listen, you know, I see here, you got a lot of women working here. If I had a business, it'd be all women. Women are just smarter than guys. They just are. They're practical.
Right.
You know, there's a thing guys do that women can't do.
That's why she's
Brother, listen, that's why we get along.
Yeah.
I understand my limitations.
Yep.
And I've always understood that. So she goes, go get a warehouse. I said, what do you mean? She goes, give me a warehouse. She went and got a warehouse for me. She said, can you see a goal and a court in here? I'm like, yeah, I can probably paint a court. And she goes, we'll hang some goals. You got basketball. So I had a basketball court. You saw it, the first one.
Yeah.
In a warehouse. And people like, yeah. And then I got into another bigger building because it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
And then my neighbor wants to build a building for me. I was okay, fantastic. You know, I didn't write anything down. And then we got to the big 2 courts, got huge.
Dude, huge. How many kids were there when I was there?
About 200.
Yeah.
200. We had some great trainers. They all got along. They all understood what the goal was.
Yeah.
You know, we all kind of did a little differently, but the end result was the same.
Yeah.
We had some great people. And, you know, I have an ego, but I don't let my ego get in the way of me. So I got a bunch of friends tell me about 5 years ago, you know, Charles, instead of having 200 kids, we could have 500. Right when Caleb was in the 8th grade.
Yeah, that's right. When Jason came.
Yep. Jason came in, and I said, okay, what do you want to do? He goes, you know, the guy wanted to sell the building. He was being a real jerk about it. He goes, this is the perfect opportunity. Let the building go, and we're going to do satellites. One in Slidell, one in Mandeville, and one in Hammond. And Jason became a partner with me. Okay. I actually tried to sell a business, you know, and nobody wanted to buy it.
Well, because you are the business.
Yeah, and Troy Duhan screwed me on that because he plagued me with that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because he told me a long time ago, Charles, you're never going to be able to sell this business. I said, well, yeah, Troy, I'm going to scale it and sell it. He goes, the business is you. Yeah. That's why we're here.
There's no doubt.
And I appreciated it, but I thought I could get past that. Well, Jason came in and did all the legwork, he did all the hard stuff. Because I'm not a detail guy. I'm going to show up and train. Yep. Don't call me for nothing else. My life is I sleep till 10, get up, have lunch with my friends, take a nap, go train, work out, and go to sleep.
That's it.
That's it. That's my day. Very little else happens in that day. And it's still my life to this day. You know, with my girlfriend now, I sleep till 9:30. She's like, yeah, I'm sleeping till 9:30. We go work out at Stone Creek.
You up watching them Netflix movies all night or something?
No. But we watch movies, but at 10:30, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, go in bed, watch TV for a little while, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Then get up, go work out, have lunch, take my nap, get up, go train, and come back home. I've been doing that for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, because and this is going to sound funny, but what's your goal in life? I had to provide for my family, and I wanted to be able to sleep. I hate to get up in the morning.
You do?
I'm a night person.
Really?
Oh, when I was living in a hotel, when my wife and I got separated, I was living in a hotel. Brother, I was at Planet Fitness at 3 a.m. with the strippers working out.
Yeah?
You know, they all go in there late.
Right, just getting off of work.
Getting off of work, they go work out. And I'm like at 2:30 in the morning working out. Like,
you didn't know you had the best spot in town.
Oh, brother, I went out to the hotel, I walk back and forth. It was fantastic, you know?
So you're the oldest, right?
I'm the oldest of 3. Two younger brothers, Sean's
middle one, and Dennis. Okay.
Dennis played.
No girls?
No girls. No. My little brother played ball at LSU.
Yeah. Yep.
With Shaquille and all.
With Shaquille, yeah. Yep.
He had the mentality. You know, being the first one, you're the one that's got to be the good one. My 2 younger brothers, they were nightmares.
Yeah.
Because they could get away with it.
Yeah, you talked about not being able to touch kids these days. Listen, man, when I was in 6th grade, the nuns used to tear me up with that paddle so much. And I was just a mischievous kid, man. And so I decided I was going to go light all the candles.
Didn't your dad handle you, though?
Oh, yeah, my dad, too.
See, I didn't want to get handled by my dad anymore. So I just became a really good kid.
Yeah, we would get suspended. My mom wouldn't even tell my dad because dude, listen,
it wasn't gonna be good.
You get those skinny belts out, you know. Yeah, those hurt the worst.
My dad would just punch you. He'd grab you, throw you on the ground, just terrorize you, scare you to death.
Yeah,
he wouldn't hurt you bad, but just terrorize you. You know, my mother at De La Salle, Brother Robert O'Kane was a disciplinarian. Oh, had one, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we had Brother Robert O'Kane at De La Salle, young guy, and she would walk us all to his office the first day of school and tell him, listen, don't ever call me. They get in trouble, you handle it. With pain, you handle it. I don't want to hear from you. And Brother Robert O'Kane had no problem. He had one of those boards, clipboards that were wooden, solid wood. And he would just smack you in the back of the head or on the back of your shoulder blade. Yeah. In the hallway.
It was common.
Like, yeah. And
the brothers would come up with their ring. They had their big ring, and they'd hit you in the head.
The coach hit you back of the head, the ring. Yeah. And it didn't bother you. But somehow we got off case. And, you know, my business now is substantial because I got so many people that still want that. You know, and I never abuse it. Right. You know, I don't scare kids. But I put a little fear in them. Mm-hmm. You know, focus and pay attention. You
know who it was? I told you that one of the dance kids with Faith, their brother goes to you, Sid. Yes. Sid. You know Sid, kind of a balder hair. He's got a little petite
yes,
wife.
Okay, yeah.
So I was in Vegas with them talking, and I don't know. I said, well, what do you do? We're playing sports. We were just hanging out before one of the dances, and he's like, yeah, he goes to Charles Tracey. I said, oh, really? And I said, what do you think? You know, because listen, they're the nicest people in the world.
Yes.
But it's like I'm processing in my head how are they dealing with this situation with Charles? You know,
good guy.
And man, the kid said it's made all the difference in the world in the kid, man. Like they love you, and you wouldn't think that, but you know what? I think some
kids
of these
realize you care.
Yeah, dude, and parents, I don't know what it is these days because the parents are almost the worst enemy for the kids, you know. And it's like with you, I think if they're having a hard time wrapping their head around discipline in their house and maybe just speaking the truth to their kids and being, you know, you sugarcoat everything, dude. Then they don't know the difference between anything. No. So it's like they're maybe outsourcing this part that maybe they've figured out is maybe weak just because of who they are, man. But I think listen, dude, it's good that these parents are recognizing that because that's not the way the culture is anymore, man.
Well, you know, I see, you know, everything's changing. You know, this world is totally different to me.
Oh, unbelievably.
You know, and I look at this generation, and as much as I think they're just so soft and so simple and so basic, they're good people. You know, they really are. Mm-hmm. But what they don't understand is weakness attracts bad people.
Yep. You
know, they think, I can talk that out. You're not going to be able to talk that out. You have to fight over that. And they think they can talk everything out. Yeah. And people who want what you have, you can see it in crime today. Mm-hmm. I'm amazed. You let bad people out to continue doing. They're bad. They've already showed you they're bad. You know, the best part of my program, Sean, is I get to see kids when they're 28, 29 years old. And I'll see them somewhere. I ran into a guy who's waiting tables. He's 27 years old. He comes and grabs me. And I didn't recognize him because, you know, you're 18, 16,
yep,
and you're 27 now. You're two different people. Mm-hmm. And he goes, you don't remember me? And I'm like, man, am I this bad feeling?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. And I'm like, oh, my God. And, dude, literally, he cries, I start crying. My girlfriend, who doesn't get me at all, okay, she's not like me. She's like, you know, that she gets that.
Yep.
That must have meant that much to that kid back then.
Yeah.
You know, I said it meant that much to me. And it always will, because I do basketball in Mandeville.
Right.
Okay, dude, that's like, you know, Trump said he could shoot somebody and get away with it. Mm-hmm. No matter what I do, God's going to say, Charles, okay, you did your past.
Yeah.
Whatever you do now, you're
right.
good, brother.
Yeah.
And I totally believe that.
Yeah.
God and I talk every day.
Yeah.
You know, Holly and Heather try to get me to go to church all the time, doing this and doing that. I don't. But God and I talk every day. You know, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what the direction is. Because I'm 57 years old. I'm still training kids basketball. I love it, but it gets old. Mm-hmm. And then I get a kid in that needs help. So I'm training 85 to 120 kids for this one kid. And that makes a difference to me, because I'm going to make a difference in his life.
Yeah.
If it makes a difference in one person, you know that.
It's
totally worth that.
I watched so many kids, when they came into the program, they couldn't maybe even dribble. They had no confidence. When they left there, dude, they think they're King Kong, man.
You know,
like
it's confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, listen, I tell a story with Caleb and Jesse all the time, you know, with Jim.
Yep.
Because I feel like I failed. You know, your kid and Jesse didn't really play high school basketball. No. And 8th grade, they were studs. They won a parish championship. Mm-hmm. And in 8th grade, I made 2 phone calls for Jesse to 2 friends saying, listen, I got a player that's going to outgrow my program. Okay? He needs to be on a different level. And I've had other kids that were close, but Jesse was a man.
Yep.
Okay? And, you know, I got to help them through high school. But, you know, you go to a bad situation.
Yep.
New coach, no idea. Then another new coach.
Yep.
And when you give people confidence, they call out an adult. Like Jesse said, why am I going to play for that guy?
Yeah.
He knows nothing about basketball.
No, listen, Caleb, when, you know.
Same way Caleb's like, coach, I'm not doing that.
He would go, you know, it's like, man, this kid's going and addressing a coach and saying, hey, man, what you're doing isn't making sense at all.
Not even close.
Yeah, so.
And they come to you and tell you that.
Yep. I'm
like, okay, but remember the story. He's the coach. You're going to have a boss.
You got to figure it out.
You got to figure that. How bad do you want to play? Yeah. And Jesse's like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, man, Jesse, you put so much work into this. You know, Cable, you put so much work into it.
Yeah. They took all the fun out of it, man.
Took the fun out. But they had confidence. Yeah. I would never have trust. I look back at it now, Sean, and my one regret in life is I failed my parents in high school, because I should have been my younger brother in high school.
And figured it out.
I didn't figure it out. Yeah. I was raised, you don't ever question an adult. Yeah. I figured Joey Hines or Kent or Bob Whitman were doing what's best for me. They were too numbnuts.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't know. But
no one challenged it. My Dennis would have walked up and said, listen, Joey, get lost.
Yep.
You know, get lost. And done it his own way. He did his whole life that way. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, Dennis, you're never gonna be able to do that. Boom. Dennis, you can't do that. Boom. Because he had no fear. He had no fear about that.
No.
I'm like, and then it hit me at about 30 years old. Dude, this life is about you taking control.
Exactly.
And I never did. I always let other people control me until I was about 30. And it finally hit me that confidence, once you give it, is a dangerous thing.
Oh, yeah, because I talk to people all the time about this, is when you face adversity, like I have, you have, it's a muscle you build. And so when you overcome adversity, it almost gives you a superpower. Oh. You know the next time you reach
it. I never challenged it.
Okay.
I never challenged it. I trusted an adult to do what's best.
Until you got to a certain age.
Yeah, until I got to a certain age. Now, I don't ever, you know me now.
Yeah.
I'll shake my head and keep on going.
Well, dude, I look at it, because it's almost like when you're going through life, there's these, if you look at it as a game, there's levels, right? And so you only get to go to the next level when you figure out some of this real life stuff.
Right, exactly right.
So, as you climb, it's like, I work for somebody, and it's like, oh, I see the way a business works now, and this is what I don't like about it. This is what I like about it. This is what I would do differently. And you start playing these scenarios in your head, and it's like you almost know at that point when you're questioning everything. That's what I try to tell people, my kids. Question everything, man. Just the person that knows the way that it all works is and
wins.
That's what when we bring a marketing client in, it's a puzzle, right? And it's the same exact puzzle. It's just the pieces look a little bit different, right?
And you can understand the pieces.
Yes.
You know, you can't just listen. I look back at certain things in my life. I had a guy's a billionaire, friend of the family. He tells me out of college, I graduate from Southeastern, business marketing. And my dad takes me to this guy and goes, I want you to sit down with this gentleman. We knew him as a family friend. He's going to talk to you about work and what you want to do the rest of your life. I'm right out of Southeastern. I put my sport coat on. I go to the guy's business. We sit down at a big table. My dad leaves, and we talk for about an hour. And the guy tells me, basically, my dad's an idiot, great man, but your dad works for 2 paychecks a month. Your dad's at the top of his business, but he doesn't understand his value in life. Mm-hmm. Okay, your dad's perfectly happy. My dad was making about $130 a year.
Way back when?
In the 80s.
Wow.
So we were loaded. Okay, we hit cars. We weren't fancy rich. My parents put everything in us.
Yep.
Everything. We had everything. Cars, insurance, gas money, whatever. And I'm looking at this guy talking to me, and I'm still young, 20, 21, 22 years old. He tells me, go into real estate. He goes, take your degree, get rid of it, go into real estate. I'm like, I said, sir, if I go into real estate, my dad's going to kill you and cripple me because he just spent 5 years of money to go to college. Right. I could have got a real estate license out of high school. He goes, your dad is an idiot. He's a hardworking person, but he's an idiot about life. He goes, become a real estate agent. You don't make land. So I said, okay. I leave. My dad tells me what happened. I said, my dad's like, forget that. You know what, Bob? You know, I'm going about my business. 4, 5 years later, 6 years later, Sean, the tech boom's happening, late 90s. Okay? I'm making a little bit of money now. I'm giving my friend who's in investment, and he's putting my money in Cisco and all these companies. Cisco was the other, Intel. Yep. It is doubling. You know, late 90s, 2000, it's doubling. Oh, yeah. Every 3 months, 4 months, it's doubling. Your stock's going up. We're getting ready to build a house. We're moving one house to my next house in 2000, 2001. And my brother gets married. My middle brother gets married. Go to the wedding. Same guy's there again, friend of the family. And I'm talking to him. He goes, how's it going? I'm going good. You know, married, got some kids, got a little baby. Congratulations. He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm working for this food company. Great, small company. You know, loved it. They paid you. You produced. Okay? And I said, making a lot of money in stocks. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what do you mean? What's a lot of money? I said, well, I put about $30,000 into it. I got about 150 right now. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to make $1 million. Yeah. Really did. I'm watching every news episode on MSNBC and stocks going through the roof. Right. And he goes, this is in January, I think it was. He goes, sell it now. Sell everything. I said, Mr. Goldring, I said, why am I going to sell it? It's doubling. I just bought a bunch of Intel and Cisco and all this stuff. He goes, I'm telling you right now, you didn't listen to my other advice, sell your stuff now. And I said, I have a hard time doing that because it's going up. He said, Charles, let me ask you a question. And this is what you said about knowing the pieces. Yeah. He said, who's your investment person? I said, a good friend of mine. He was a grown-up friend. He made a lot of money. He married somebody who had money, and he started making money. He goes, let me ask you a question. Do you think he knows what the person who advises me knows? And we're off the dance floor. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, he's giving you advice, right? He goes, where does he live? I said, he lives in Metairie. He goes, the person giving me advice is actually at a desk on the stock exchange. Okay, he has a seat giving me advice. He goes, I'm substantially more wealthy than your friend. He said, I always will be. Your friend may not be. He said, so, dude, that was a Friday or Saturday. I called my friend on a Monday. I sold everything. He said, take your money, put it into your house. That way you ain't going to lose it. Told my wife, called my friend. My friend goes, you're an idiot. You're crazy. We're making so much money. Charles, I'm making money. I'm like, Craig, you are. I got to get out of it. Dude, March, the whole world ended. The whole world ended.
Oh, with the financial crash?
With the financial, it crashed.
Yep.
It crashed in March. And I'm like, then I realized it's all rigged.
That's it.
It's rigged. You know, my brother was with Shaquille. And they could do an IPO for Planet Hollywood.
Yep.
Okay? My brother got shitload of stock from Planet Hollywood through Shaquille. Robert Earl was the owner. And Robert Earl sold everybody a bill of goods, lied to everybody, made a fortune beginning, and bailed out of it, and the stock went to zero. My brother's in Betty Ford drug clinic on the day of the IPO with Bear Stearns. He has to steal a phone to call me from a bathroom stall in California at Betty Ford, and tells me, gives me the guy's name at Bear Stearns, who's handling the IPO for Planet Hollywood, at 8 in the morning, telling me what I had to do. So I call the guy. We want 30,000 shares. Here's the thing. We do the whole transaction. And Dennis tells me, listen what the guy tells you. He goes, all right, Charles, you want to sell this thing at 31. Dennis wanted to sell his at 32. I said, we're going to do that? The guy goes, yeah. We bought it at 16, 15. Because IPO'd to certain people through Shaquille. I'm like, it goes right to 31. I'm like, man, I'm at the job getting information from my friends who's telling me all about it. Because I didn't have nothing to follow it at the time. And I called the guy and said, yeah, we'll sell at 31. I hated selling it. Yeah. He got to 32. Then it went back down to 28. And within a year, it was 0.
Yeah, listen, I gotta.
That's insider trading.
Listen, dude. So I do some business in the crypto space, and so it gave me a look behind the curtain because we have our own token, and everything the stock market, market makers, the way they manipulate the chart, because everybody's just reading charts. They're looking at trends, right?
Yeah,
so they
but 5 people are manipulating those charts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's not a free market like you think it is.
No. It's guided by. For Keebler, I work for a Keebler company.
Yeah.
Food. They went independent. It was a great run. For 9 years, it was the greatest job I ever had. Great people. They paid you. And we go IPO. And I'm up in management, so I get a little bit. Okay? And after I did the IPO with Bears and Stearns, I'm thinking I kind of know it, And the guy tells me, he goes, Charles, here's just how much you want to sell. Give me $25,000. He goes, okay. You get it at, I think we got it at 20. Okay. No, we got 28. He goes, it's going to go to 39, 40, and sell it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? He goes, well, and he was a region manager. He goes, well, it's not going any higher than 42.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? He goes, well, it's not going to go any higher than 42.
Yeah.
So I bought it at 28, and I sold it at 39, 40. Stayed at 42. He goes, it'll go to 42 by the end year. We bought it in September. It's pretty hard to go that far in a short period of time. Brother, they released the information in December beginning, went to 42. Yeah. I sold it at 40 and got out.
That's where the sell pressure is, man. So all that's happening is when it bumps up, they know that's going to be the high. They're taking profits out.
Oh, they're all cheating the system.
Yeah, it's the way it all works.
But then you think like you say things, it's open. It's not open.
No, nothing is, man.
The politics now, always politicians trading on a stock they know.
But this is a question. I think this. I guess it's, when you dive into the political thing, I dove into it just because it's important to me that I know what's really going on. Yeah. I don't like to wake up every day and think I'm being duped.
I can't handle that.
Me either, dude. I'd rather just know the cold hard truth. Realize I got to compartmentalize.
How do we handle it?
That's what happens with that compartmentalizing. Right. So I figured out, how do I know what's going on and not let it affect me?
Exactly right. Exactly.
And so it's been a little bit of a dance, because I got red pilled because I realized that none of these, all they do is talk. Nobody does anything. They just keep talking about the same things. Nothing ever gets done. And when you really take a deep dive, there's this invisible branch of government called the intelligence branch that's outside of everything else. And so that
controls everything.
They control everything, and they're controlled by public interest. So when you start to see all of this stuff, man, it's like, what do you even do, though? Because you hear people, shit, it sucks. What can we do? there's really nothing you can do.
Well, you can. It just ain't positive to do.
It's right. Yeah.
You know, and like you and I talk about, you get to a point where people are going to start acting.
Yes.
And that's a danger point.
That's it.
And that's where we're getting to. You know, listen, I'm 57 years old. Okay, I don't know how you feel about your life, but I've done everything I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, I've lived the American dream.
I've done it.
Yep.
I don't have a bucket list. I just do my stuff.
That's it.
You know, these people I got a bucket list of 8 things. That's because you ain't been doing what you wanted to do. Right. You know, I've been doing what I want to do since I've been 30.
Same thing, yeah.
Okay, now it's a lot of pressure when you have a family.
Yeah.
You know, until my dad passed, my life changed again when my mother passed away. You know, about 14 years ago. Maybe 10 years ago. Because I was living my life for her. I was making her proud.
Yeah.
You know, my 2 brothers had already effed everything up. So I had to be the token. Stay married. Keep your kids going.
Right.
Everybody off of drugs.
Honey,
nobody in jail. Nobody pregnant.
Oh, I did a good job with old Charlie
pregnant.
boy.
Yeah,
oh, Charlie boy, I did good.
I was like, and she never said anything, but she didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know, and I lived my life. I love my life. And then when she passes, her last words, you know, my fortunate thing in life, too, is both my parents passed. I was with them. Mm-hmm. I was there with the last person with them.
Yeah.
My mother passed away to auctioneer. I'm there with her. And she tells me, you know, live your life. And I'm like, Ma, I'm going to be back tomorrow and go to sleep. You'll be fine. Yeah. She goes, I'm telling you right now, live your life. You did everything you're supposed to do. Now live your life.
Yeah.
And I'm like 47 years old. Okay. Well, she goes into a coma, basically, and never wakes up. And she passes.
So that's the last.
Last thing. You know, I got my shirt I stole wore the day of.
So you got to follow those instructions, brother.
So I'm following this. So I'm living my life.
Yeah.
Because I live my life, dude. I'm living my life now like you said you lived. I was scared of girls. And my dad, I was like 17 years old. My dad's like, "You gay?" I'm like, "Dad, am I gay?" He goes, "Why don't you got a girlfriend?" I said, I got a girlfriend. You know, but my old man put the fear of life in me. I don't know how yours was.
Oh, shit.
You know, so I had friends that got girl missed a period or something like that. I'm like, well, what happened? Like, I'm like, somebody be pregnant. I'm thinking, if I get somebody pregnant, my dad's going to kill me. Mm-hmm. You know, so I was like, oh, you know how you avoid that? You just avoid girls. Yeah. Went to all-boys school, had a girlfriend off and on, never got anything serious. Yeah. So I was just make my mom and dad proud. Because my 2 brothers, John, they were doing everything they shouldn't have been doing. Okay, getting away with it, living a life. Well, dude, when I turned 48, you know, my wife and I separated. I started living like I was 18. I started doing everything I should have been doing then.
Yeah.
Now.
You caught up.
I caught up.
Yeah.
I moved into a hotel and started doing my own little thing. And I was like, this ain't bad. I still take care of my family. Take care of I don't need a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, Sean, you and I talk about it all the time. Yep. I need $1,500 a month. And my girlfriend now looks at me. She goes,
yeah.
I got a pen. I carry this, my watch, and my chain. After that, I don't need anything else. Those are the 3 things I need in life. And I can live in a house. I can live in a rental home. I don't need anything else. And that's helped me.
It's kept you free.
It kept me free.
And you haven't had to settle.
I haven't had to settle for anything. I still take care of my responsibility. Yeah. Because I will do that. I owe it to them, plus my parents. But then my dad died, and he was like, okay, you know, now you're on your own. Yeah. You know, you really, because my dad's like, you disappoint me. I'm like, okay, and you've done that for the past 35 years with me. Okay, so we're even. Right, you know, right. It's just 2 guys. You know, he's done some great things, some bad things.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't resonate with me. Having to make somebody else happy, you make yourself happy. Yeah. No bucket list. Like you're crazy. You say some things out there, and I love that. I say my girlfriend gets mad. He goes, you can't say that on Facebook. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can say.
We can cancel me.
Right.
I'm right. I'm on the right side of this. You know, you gotta toughen up a little bit.
Diplomacy is, everybody wants to use diplomacy, and sometimes hitting it with a hammer is the way is the only way to understand.
Jason White's a good friend. You know, you guys kind of all went away. So
right about that time, yeah.
Jason came into my business, and he's kept me sane. He's always mad. He goes, how have you never been sued? You know, you ain't got to sue me. I'm not going to do anything wrong. You know, if something happens, I'm going to pay my fair share. But you ain't going to sue me just
for the words you say.
For words I say. Yeah. Because your kid's bad. Well, no one's ever told me my kid's bad. Well, they've been lying to you. Your kid's an idiot. and you and your kid are out of the program.
Listen, I was in the gym one day, and bro, I even got quiet that day. There was some parents, and the kid, you were having trouble with the kid, and I think the parents, maybe you came over and talked to them, and they said something to you. You threw the parents and the kid out the gym.
Yeah.
So you take him and
you two go.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, you tossed him.
I toss people all the time, because at the end of the day, I'm responsible to you. Yeah. You want good people. This business right here I'm in is the greatest because I'm the smartest person in the business. Yep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got all the. Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. I'm helping these people, and they all want to be competitive. Okay, good. You know how competitive it meant to me.
Oh, yeah.
Those kids play in every different team. I don't care about winning.
Nope.
I care about you learning life lessons and learning how tough basketball is, how bad you want it. Yeah. That's it. I don't put teams together to go beat people.
No.
Now, we can, but not making you better. My job's to make you an individual, not a team. Caleb didn't need anybody. Caleb would go, who am I playing with this week?
Yeah.
Brother, don't worry about it. You show up and lead the people you got.
Yeah, because I'd go to the game sometimes, and
you'd be pissed off.
There'd be a 6'2" guy, and Caleb's 11 years old.
Dude, I still tell a story. Janine Hunley.
Yeah.
Okay. That group with Ben, a little bit older.
Yep.
Okay. They had a group in Mandeville that didn't come to us, but played with a dad. They had about 7 of them that were pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I had about 20, and they kept Ben and McCormick and a bunch of other ones. And they were always, Coach, we got to put our team together. To go. Isaiah would always, Coach, can we play? Because we'd always lose to them. But I'd have 2 good kids, 3 average ones, and 3 bad ones. And they'd beat us and act like they were better than, why are we training? Why are y'all paying to go to him? We beat y'all all the time. Yeah. That's hard because I'm doing what's right.
Yep.
But I'm losing in the public opinion poll. And at some point, I've learned I got to give in to Caleb and to Jesse. That's why with your group, I was the first time I ever did it. Mm-hmm. With that, I put them all together.
Yeah, and that team went out going to Mandeville Junior High, and that team ran the table.
They ran everybody out.
Yeah.
And we played in a tournament at the state tournament at Lario Center, and I put them all together. Connor McCormick, Ben, Isaiah, Hayden.
Yep.
And we went and played the group of Mandeville. And we beat them in the first half like 35-6, and we're pressing them. And I'm like, go ahead. At halftime, Janine Hunley comes over to me, and she's like, stop it. Stop it. I'm like, Janine. And I love her and Jeff.
Yeah.
I said, Janine, get yourself back in that stands over there. I said, because it's going to get worse in the second half. And we beat those kids to where I think half of them quit playing basketball. I'm like, now that's what we can do if you want to.
Yeah.
But that's not the goal of this, to embarrass kids. The goal is to make them independent and confident.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. And you do that by separating them. Steve Alfonso was a good friend.
Yep.
He had his little group. It was always tough losing to them.
Well, what happens in your program is the better kids they have a vested interest because they're playing with these other kids. So, man, it's not one of those things that it's, you're not any good. It's like, dude, you got to play with them, so figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
You go to high school. I tell parents all the time, especially for girls, and I mean no disrespect, but girls basketball is absolutely horrible. The people that get away with thinking they're good are no good. Mm-hmm. My daughter went to Southeastern, was a coach there for a couple of years, and she never understood how really truly good she was. She loved it, but she didn't love it for life. Yeah. She's coaching at Southeastern, girls on scholarship that can't pivot. I'm like, they're not any good at basketball. They're meaner, tougher, and want it more.
That's right.
That's why they're there. Mm-hmm. In football.
Yeah.
Those guys that played all-the-time football aren't great football players. They're just meaner and show up every day.
That's right.
Ryan had the greatest line, Ryan Lewis.
Yeah.
Okay? I used to get Ryan to tell him all the time, Ryan, tell everybody what's the greatest aspect about you, greatest thing about you. He goes, I'm 6'8" and athletic every morning. And like Ryan said, Charles, I played college ball at Georgia. And we're doing things with third graders I didn't do in college.
That's right.
But I was 6'8" and athletic. Those guys aren't good in basketball. We play people all the time. Sean, the hardest thing we do is go play a team, and I'm looking down the sideline, and the guy's beat me by 20 and knows nothing about basketball. So you got a group of kids.
Kids, yeah.
They just know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach Caleb how to be an individual and a leader. Hey, brother, you're leading a bunch of bad people. Figure it out. Motivate them.
Yep.
You know, Ben, motivate them. You know, that's what it's about.
That's what it's about, man.
So they go off in life, and they go to a company, and they go, okay, hold on, I'm it.
Yeah, you.
How do I figure this out now? I can't call Dad. I can't have my friends with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it different? Is it different? Is it different today than it even was 10 years ago with the kids?
It is now because it's, you know, back 10 to 15 years ago, you still had a group.
Yeah.
That kind of got it. Now, man, it's just
you gotta educate every one of them, man.
Oh my God, you know, it's scary because they all I don't know where they became so unathletic. You know, they just too much inside.
Yeah,
they don't do enough out. Like my mother ran us out. Like you said, you lived the whole day of life.
What was there to do inside anyway? There wasn't anything to do. There wasn't video games. It's like.
Yeah. They sit there and play. And listen, it's good mentally, but it's not good socially. People ask me all the time, you know, I don't know how you ran track. I didn't run track my senior year in high school. I was highly athletic. I was the most athletic.
Real fast.
Yeah, I was fast. But I didn't realize it because I played basketball, you know?
So everybody's fast.
Everybody's pretty athletic. You got to be athletic place. So my senior year, the guy goes, you need to run track. So some friends of mine ran. I said, okay, I'm going to run it. And at the time, Sammy Martin was at De La Salle.
Yeah.
Dude, it was 4 of us. We went to state in 4x100. And my mom's like, we went all the way to Monroe. And my mom's like, how are we going to find y'all on the field, on the track field? You know, I'm like, we're going to be only 4 white people there. Okay?
Right.
That was it.
Yeah.
We were only 4 white people.
Yeah.
Sammy Martin, me, Juan, Trey. And, you know, it told you there's other things you can do. You know, you ain't got to just do one thing.
That's it.
You know, but in basketball, it teaches you what I do. What can you do? Hey, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. Stay in your lane. You know, I was talking to your wife just now before we showed up, and she's like, Caleb at school. Man, my whole life's changed. I tell my kids all the time, you got to go to school for certain things. Mm-hmm. You know, he wants to be marketing, that kind of stuff. Good. Go for a couple of years and quit.
Yeah.
You can teach them everything you need.
I wasn't a big fan of the college thing.
I tell my kids, like, you don't go to college no more.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to college. College is a scam. What you got to pay, you know, between the government and the banks giving you money, and the tuition raised up. The CEO of a bank told me one day about 10 years ago when it all started, because man, they're killing these kids. He said the government is now forcing the bank to loan money to kids for an education they can't afford.
Yep.
For a degree that ain't worth anything.
It's unbelievable, man.
And they're doing it left and right. Trade schools. My daughter, the best thing she's doing, my youngest one right now, is going to a VOTEC school for criminal justice. It's costing her $2,000. She's going to get out, and she'll be able to go in that field. I ain't got to pay $16,000, $18,000, $20,000 for education.
Yeah. Listen, I wasn't a big fan of Caleb going because he made it out of Mandeville. He squeaked out. Like I don't think he lifted a finger the whole time.
I told my youngest one, who graduated from Fontainebleau, I said, your mother should walk across the stage, not you. You should be sitting with me.
Right.
Sit here with me, let mom cross that stage. Because Sonya got it through. Rebecca hated school. Then she wants to go to college. I'm like, I ain't paying $1. I'll put it into a fund, but I ain't paying you $1 to go to college.
You know the deal we did with Caleb? Did she tell you? So we said, hey, I told him, buddy, based on the past experience, I'm not sure that this bodes well. It doesn't seem like this is something you want to do. So he decided, man, he filled out all the application stuff himself, all the student loan. I said, this is what we're going to do. You're going to take out a student loan, and when I get your report card at the midterms, I pay the student loan off. I said, so I'm not investing in something I think's a bad idea. Right. You go invest in it. And dude, the fact that he did all,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Listen, man, he got plugged in the accountability in the fraternity. They have to have the 3.0. He really likes the group of kids there. And dude, like he's on it, man. And like so he just didn't want to do the high school thing, man. And I think because he had a tough time. He just had a bad run of coaches, dude. You know, his football coach was terrible. He had the worst run you could ever have. And I think it killed his spirit a little bit,
does.
man.
I tell these kids all the time because I'm always some of my kids make it, and some don't. You know, right now I'm dealing with about 3 kids that didn't make the teams, And I'm giving them advice. Hey, here's my advice. Don't regret it. Go to next year. You got one more year. I always tell them, you got to your sophomore year to make the varsity team.
Yeah.
So if you don't make the 8th grade team, no big deal. Make the 9th grade team, no big deal. Trying to make the JV team. After JV, you're done.
Yeah.
So I got 3 kids. Hey, you got to change yourself. I tell you what's wrong with you, but he hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah.
I tell him, listen, the kid that made the 8th grade team isn't playing varsity. He's got arm caps in 7th grade. He's done. He's 5'8", he's done. He was big in 7th grade, but 5'8" isn't playing high school basketball with no skill and just being athletic. Everybody plays basketball. I tell people all the time, they get mad at me. There are 2 sports, football and basketball. That's it. Everything else is for people who don't play football and basketball. And people get pissed off at me. Yeah. But if you're going to put it to paper, that's it. You know this, Sean. Every wide receiver, every cornerback who plays professional football, every tight end, every athletic linebacker and running back would give their right arm to be a basketball.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Professional.
Yep.
They all were at one time.
Yep.
They just went and played football because they got 2 basketball scholarships to a JUCO and a small Division I.
That's right.
And 35 major Division I football scholarships.
Yeah.
That's it. Dan always tells me, the Saints, how good Jimmy Graham was. I'm like, Jimmy Graham was garbage in basketball, but he was 6'8". Well, you see his hands? Well, everybody's hand is 6'8", it's this big.
Yeah.
They're not 6'8" with hands like that.
No.
They're 6'8" with hands like that. I told him all the time, I said, you tell Sean Payton, pay me $250 a year, I'll find you 3 Jimmy Grahams every year.
Because they don't even have to have ever played football before.
No. I mean, well, they're going to get hit. Jimmy Graham's 6'8", 255, 260. The guy hitting him's 5'11", 190.
Yeah.
Okay, coach, you know what? I'm going to go 15 yards and out.
I'm pretty sure Jimmy Graham didn't like getting hit. He wasn't the most physical guy in the world.
He never was.
No.
He went out of bounds more than referees did for balls.
Yeah.
But he realized, I'm going 15, 20. I'm going over the middle, down the seam.
Yeah, Mike get hit 3 or 4 times, get cleaned up, and he was so tall they couldn't clean him up.
They couldn't clean him up.
Yep.
Those guys are there, 6'6", 6'8". They're running. Jimmy Graham's. I told Harrison Prieto. Mm-hmm. He played ball at Florida State, 6'8".
That's right. Yeah.
I said, Harrison, go play football for 1 year. Morrow's doing it at the Raiders. Play ball at LSU.
Oh yeah, Foster.
I watched him play basketball. I told Chris Jennings, his parents must be paying you to play basketball. That kid couldn't play basketball, but he's playing professional football.
Oh, at a high level too.
At a high level.
Yeah.
He ain't fast. He ain't highly athletic. In basketball, he just put him on a post and threw the ball to him, and he could be able to get the ball to the rim. With kids 5'11", 6'2" guarding him. But he's playing professional football. Oh. I told Dan, they got 1 million of them out there.
Yeah, they do.
Go get them, but they don't go get them. All the best tight ends are all basketball players.
Every one of them, it seems like. And look at these kids. For one of these teams, I think it's Georgia. Georgia's got one kid that's like 6'6", white kid, and there's a 6'8" black kid, and they run like wide receivers.
Yeah, playing football.
Yeah, playing football.
That's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But I always told Canyon, who plays Celestine.
Yep.
And Jason always said it. That kid's not going to play basketball. I said, well, he's going to play ball. He's going to be fine. And Jason kept saying, that kid's a Division I safety. But he played basketball. He could have played anywhere in high school for football, but he loved basketball. So I love getting people riled up.
Oh, you get them riled up, too.
Funny though, my best friend's boyfriend is a tight end at LSU.
Yeah?
And he actually started at LSU baseball.
Really?
Pitcher. Yeah.
How big is he?
He's 6'6". He's huge.
Yeah, that's listen, it's just size in football. If you're 6'6",
yeah.
Anybody hitting you, let's say, Sean, what are you, 6 foot? 6'1"?
6 foot.
All right, so somebody 5'5" hitting you.
Yeah, it's like you're playing against a little midget.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a sissy, I get it. I am going to get hit. Tony Gonzalez said one day, he goes, man, I could get hit right now with those guys. Yeah, I don't want to get by a linebacker, but I'm usually behind them when they chase me down.
Yeah, so it's a total mismatch when he's there with a 5'11" defensive back.
It is. Last night I had a good night with training. That kid who's struggling, and it flipped. Like it flipped with Caleb and Jesse and Jack Branch and Blake and all these guys. I'm like, you're now the bully. Kind of grown a little bit. and we're doing a little one-on-one drill. And the kid guardian must be like 5'9". He's about 6'1". And he realized, I don't have to be real fast. I'm just going to run you over. Because everybody wants to hurry.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't need to hurry. Understand who you are. Because no one's telling them who they are. You're 6'1". He's 5'9". Run him over. Do it slowly so he understands every bit of it. Don't do it fast so he forgets it.
Yeah.
Run it over. You like when you fighting your brothers. You know, you wanted the fight to be quick.
Yeah.
And I fought my brother. It was a slow fight. My dad fought. He was a slow fight. He wore your ass out for a long time to where you realize, I don't want to do this again. You know, but it clicked in his head. And so now you're going to be a whole different basketball player.
And he is.
And he is. Just because it clicked like that. You know, back to Caleb. When they played the Paris Championship with Jesse. Everybody's like, how great Jesse played and all this. I said, yeah. And it was a bunch of them, about 6, 7 players at one time. And some kids that won ours.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, Jesse, you scored the points to win the game, but Caleb won that game. And Jesse's like, well, how did Caleb win the game? I said, the last 2 loose balls on the court, there were 3 kids from Boyette and Caleb.
Yep.
And he came out of both those jump balls.
He sure did.
With both of them.
Yep.
That's what won you the game, about 2 points.
2 points, yeah, because he got put on the free throw line.
He got put on the free throw line. I said, four guys from Mandeville could have gone on the ground. I said, Caleb went on the ground. Yeah. That's the guy you want in the foxhole. Okay, if fight breaks out, I want you. I don't want the guy who talks about it. And Caleb's like, yeah, I got those 2 loose balls. I'm like, yeah. But that's over years of getting your ass reamed. That it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I'm going in. And when you say he's going to play football, so he can be a great football player.
Yeah.
You know, great football player.
You had prepared him well.
Oh, not to be scared. You just be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's what, no one's doing that anymore to kids.
They really aren't, man.
You know, recreation ball is a joke because you can't do anything to kids. So it's just a joke. They mean well. Recreation apartments mean the greatest. But if you want more for your kid, like life lessons, you're not getting it.
Yeah, because I remember at Metairie Playground, my dad and Mr. Frank Marbury were our coaches. And man, like, they made it seem like when we went and played, like, dude, it was a privilege to play, man. It was, you know,
well,
like,
it was.
Everybody
got cut.
We got cut. We prepared.
Your friends got cut.
Yeah, well, even at the playground, dude, you know, it was like, dude, they prepared. It was like a big ordeal, man. Like, we drilled and prepared, and I just don't see I don't think you have that level of participation as far as coaches and help, because it's a lot of they're relying on volunteers, man, and so
you got to deal with a lot of abuse, and people don't want to do it. Like we were saying before, Bobby Collins, who was a great coach at Brother Mark,
yeah,
he couldn't coach today.
I don't see he would have had to change his demeanor.
He wouldn't have. Those guys don't change. That's who they are. You know. So what I do in our business, I try to tell our trainers, is you got to love them first, and then you train them second. So all my friends who are trying to do my business, I'm like, I can give you advice, and they listen sometimes. But you got to get rid of bad people, because bad people make the whole, it's a disease. Well, I need Sean Burst to win. Well, yeah, but Sean Burst is going to make your program bad. Yeah. You got to get rid of them.
Listen, man, I think...
And you don't want to do that, because everybody wants to win.
Everybody wants to be everybody's friend, and everybody wants to please everybody.
I tell them all the time, I'm not your friend, right? And I'm training you. I'm not your friend. I'm training you. So understand the difference. And I walk that line. You know, I don't know how we talked about pride the other day. You know, pride got me in so much trouble in my life.
Sure.
It still gives me trouble. You know, Sean, when I say something to my girls, they know it. I'm not gonna talk it. I'm gonna do the whole 9 yards. So if it detrimental to me and my family, well, then you're gonna have to suck it up, because you're gonna have some bad stuff to you, because what I'm doing. But it's the right thing to do. Yeah. And my dad did. I was raised that way.
I think what it is, man, because, you know, I'm looking for conflict. Like, it doesn't bother me when let's say I had disagreements with you. And
yeah.
You're like you are. And guess what? But you know how to communicate. So
right.
That's what I think happens, man, is that whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in business, whether it's in a scenario like this, people are too afraid to go communicate. It's like, what do you think somebody's going to do to you? They're not going to bite you. You got to be able to articulate what's wrong and let's talk about it, right? So,
Right.
you know, that's...
Well, like Shoshana's generation now, they don't communicate. You know, they're not good verbalizers of what isn't comfortable. You know, my girlfriend now, we talk about certain things, and she's like, I want to talk about it. I'm like, oh, we're having a conversation right now. And it kills her sometimes.
But if you leave that out there, dude, it's like a virus that's hanging out there.
And I keep thinking about it over and over. Yeah. You know, I remember back when you called me with Caleb at the 8th grade team, or 9th grade team, or whatever it was. Yeah. I said, hey, when we put you on the 8th grade, 9th grade team, they're out there to win. Everything before that, we want to win, but everybody's going to play. You got to produce. So this isn't everybody's going to get a quarter and a half. So you got to tell Caleb, hey, you want to play more, you have to produce more. And whatever that coach wants you to put, is it valuable, is what you got to realize. And that's another facet. Everybody's different. Yep. You know, I tell, you know, a good friend of mine is at Hannon, Errol. And I tell him, you know, Errol's not everybody's person. Everybody wants to play for him, but you're not capable of playing for him. You know, you're more of a St. Paul's kid. We go to private school, go to St. Paul's. They take everybody. Okay, hell, you can pay the school and they'll put you on the team.
I think Errol tries to run kids off.
Well, he does. He doesn't cut anybody, but he's going to run you off.
Yep.
So when he goes and plays with, you know, when Canyon and Grant and all them and Kareem, they go to a game with 7 players, 8 players, to a varsity game.
And can run baseline to baseline the entire
whole game. And the parents are like, well, I'm like, hold on, time out. Just shut up.
Yeah.
You're playing for one of the top coaches in the state. Your kid would never play for another guy like this. It's not bothering the kid. You all stay out. Sean, my dream is now I want to get a gym again and keep parents out. I want to get to a point where I don't need to have the money to run it.
So you got to drop them off and go.
You drop them off. You sit in the hall. You sit in the hallway in the front, and we stream it on a camera. And the players,
that's a good idea.
And the players just play. Yeah. I'm still going to charge you. I got to get the money for it. Pay $5, just sitting there. You're going to watch on a big screen. But you're not on the court.
I'll put snack machines and everything, so y'all can, yeah.
You're just not part of it. You're just not part of it. That's why you know, people keep saying, "Well, you're a bad business person." I'm a great business person. I just don't do what I need to do to be involved with basketball people. You know, soccer, volleyball, baseball. It's a money machine. They're all the same.
You ever think about doing any marketing?
It wouldn't matter, because the people I'm marketing. I can't deal with 8 other coaches because they don't have the same thing I have in baseball, basketball, softball, volleyball. They don't get the same idea. They're playing. They rank their teams and they go play. They play 1 million games. Okay, basketball's not that way. There are so many bad people in basketball. It's absolutely everything's racial.
You remember that thing we went to in Chicago, that camp?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I always wonder this just because you have such a great product, and you know you've done this from basically scratch. You could run a bunch more people. There.
But Sean, I can't deal with those people.
Okay,
I went with the John Lucas, and I got a court, and I'm teaching them pivoting and attacking the rim. Dude, you saw me. I'm stopping them with their foot on the ground, and Lucas comes up to me and goes, "Coach, we're not here for that. Get them wet and get them shooting." So it wasn't, you know, they're paying $500 to go to this thing. Yeah. And this guy, he's just looking for players.
That's it. That's all it was.
He goes, I don't care if they're John, they're using the wrong foot. We don't care. But when everybody's doing it and you're the only one not, it's hard.
It is, man.
Because everybody wants to win. You know, go here, go win. Go there, go win.
I got you.
And in basketball, you only need 2 people to win.
That's right.
You know, I train this guy.
So if you go grab all these kids, then they're going to always be, you know, if they don't understand what you're really doing there in this, it's not about winning basketball games. Yeah,
it's a program. I tell people all the time, mine is a program. Now I'm changing it. I'm kind of changing a little bit. We're putting teams together at young ages.
Oh, you are?
Because everything's changed so much drastically.
Yeah,
I can do that, but then I'm not producing the Jessies and Calebs and those guys, Kareems and Canyons.
Because you had years of just development with them. Beating them half to death.
It's a scary thing when they know more. A high school coach goes, "Man, that kid knows as much as I do."
That was one of Caleb's problems. He had, because they're sitting there and the coaches are instructing him. It's like, then there's nothing like that. This is a joke, man.
I had Jesse and Kareem doing one of my teams at a tournament because they're helping me. And I'm sitting there on the sideline with them, 8th grade team. And, brother, I basically had tears in my eyes because they knew exactly, called timeout. The run started, called timeout, changed people out. They ran a play, end of the game, they run a play. Okay? They run an elevator type play where the guy runs through up to the top of the key, 2 guys step in, block the guy chasing for a free shot. Okay? Outstanding play. But in their heads, they knew it. And they'd run the play. Well, they forgot to tell the guy inbounding the ball where the ball was going. And at the end of the game, he threw the ball to the wrong kid. He threw the ball to the corner kid who was wide open. Okay? But the play was to our shooter at the top of the key through the elevator. And it worked perfect. Everybody did everything. And Kareem's like, what happened? I said, Kareem, you didn't tell the guy throwing the ball in where it was going. And him and Jesse looked at each other. I'm like, they should know. I'm like, they don't know that. They're listening to everything you say.
Yeah.
But other than that, I got 2 high school kids playing one of the top teams in the state to a 2-point game.
And they're coaching.
them. Fast breaking them, subbing them out. I'm like, you 2 guys could be college coaches one day, making millions.
That's amazing, man.
But mentally they're there already.
Yeah.
Because they understand the process.
And they went through years of the fire.
They went through, and listen, I got Jesse right now. He's doing a lot of it with me now because he's going to Votech school.
Oh, good, man.
Yeah. He's going through Votech. So I'm training I'm coaching him, helping him. And, dude, I couldn't be more proud of him because he gets it.
Yeah.
He's hard on him, but he loves him. I said, dude, you're not a leader if you don't have people following behind you.
That's right.
Everybody's a leader. Where's your people? Get into the gym.
Yeah.
When we said we'd have the gym in Hammond, I said, okay, I'll let this gym go, even though I wanted to kill the guy. Okay, because we made dude, when I shake your hand, it's blood.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my hand. You better hold your hand. And he didn't. But Jason and all the trainers and a couple of dads convinced me to get out of it. We'll go virtual. We have 500. We'll make this thing into a mega business. That's okay. Chris Capo.
Yep.
He goes, not going to happen. I said, Chris, shut up. It's not going to happen, Charles, because it's you. But I'm thinking they can make it work.
Couldn't do it.
Dude, I got one of my trainers, kids being trained by somebody else.
Yeah.
I get rid of him. He goes, why you got rid of me? I'm like, how does it look when your kid's being trained by somebody else while you're our trainer? They just don't get the visual. They don't get the commitment. Yeah. When you say you're committed and I say I'm committed, that's a whole different level of commitment than today's generation.
There's no doubt, man.
And that's where I have a hard time.
There's not a lot of follow-through.
I'm going to walk that fire. I try to get my girls to understand that. I'm going to walk the fire so you can go through it.
Well, maybe it's the Jessies and the Kareems. You needed to have this class come through and become young adults, dude. And then maybe, because those kids, from what you're describing, dude, that's amazing in high school, man, that you're watching them make a lot of the same moves that you would.
Yeah, they see it.
Yeah.
Like talking to your wife. Where's Caleb at Southeast? I'm thinking, how can I get Caleb to start training? Because he gets it.
Dude, he would have so much fun.
I get mad at my dad. Again, you're going to business, you're going to school. I want to be a coach. Dude, right now, I'm coaching I'm coaching Kentucky right now, making $6 million a year. Those guys aren't geniuses. They're motivators, and they get people to buy into them.
That's right.
Because they're going to do it. I'm not following you. I left my job with Keebler over pride because I should have got a position I didn't get. Because Dan Leonardi from New Jersey comes down to Southeast and tells me what I'm not. And I get a guy, Bill Ray, who's been a clusterfuck his whole life, but's willing to transfer all over for jobs. And they give him another job. I'm like, I'm not following Bill. Bill Ray's a loser. How am I going to be Bill Ray's employee talking to my people when Bill Ray is an absolute worst? And Dan Leonardo goes, because I said so. I'm like, what's your qualification? Now I'm becoming Dennis. You ain't qualified. You just a friend of a friend. You know, coach like these basketball coaches. They get fired from one job and go to another job. Okay, you know why you're not successful? Because you weren't no good in the last job.
Yeah.
You know, the caravan, the cycle is amazing to me.
And it looks, dude. You look at Steve Nash, just goes to Jersey. Yeah. I would have thought he would have been a good coach, man, good technical guy, good strategy guy. But I guess he couldn't connect with the players. I guess.
But professional, you're not a coach. You're a manager of egos.
Yes.
That's all you are. Yeah. Phil Jackson is not a coach. Phil Jackson just managed egos.
They listened to him.
And they bought into a little bit what he said.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, that's why Nick Saban, I'm like, what a dummy he was going to Miami. Like he's going to tell guys what to do. Yeah. College, you can do that. Yeah. High school, you can do that.
Yeah, he realized it quick.
Oh, I mean, and these guys don't want to keep going pro. Like, if you can coach, you're not coaching professionally. Mm-hmm. Coaching at college.
You're you're a manager of a program at the professional level.
Exactly. Because commitment level is so rare. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm committed to this, brother. I'm committed to the sword. Yeah. You know, that's a problem.
That's a different thing.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different guy.
Yeah.
You know, like Dennis and I. You know, people always try to get us together. I'm like, if he gets within 100 feet of me, you know, we're probably gonna go at it.
How come?
You know, I don't know. I love him. My brother. Yeah. Sean's my brother. I love him. But it's best, you know, how you always say it, you got to be away from people. Yeah. I just got to be away from them. Yeah. You know, it's hard.
It's interesting because I've had a bunch of, you know, just because my brothers and I, dude, we're hard chargers, man. And so, you know, we've done a lot of business together, and there's been a lot of conflict. And, you know, it's become really important to me lately. In fact, last week I texted my mom and my three brothers. I haven't been together with them in a long time, dude. We went and met at a sushi place and really had a blast, dude. And it's for some reason, it's like God has put it on my heart that, hey, you're my dad. You know, I got his picture up on my counter. I see him every day. And it's like, man, you know, I don't think he would look too kind on this stuff, man. You know, I'm supposed to be back to back with my brothers, man. Yeah. And so the good news is that, you know, because I've learned how to communicate, I don't do anything out of emotion, as we talked about. I'm able to compartmentalize things, dude. Then I just know that it's going to make my dad proud, and I know that he's looking down on us, and I know he's probably pulling his hair out. It's like, why can't these stupid son of a bitches, you know,
get together? Yeah,
like why aren't they? And listen, it's not like it's been real crazy at some point, like you and Dennis.
Well, whole family. It's not just Dennis, dude. Every holiday, it's the police or a fist fight. We had to quit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I just found myself, it's like, I got to go get connected back to my brothers, as crazy as this world is, man. And plus, you know, them know. Understand stuff sometimes, man. And so I'm super happy because it looks like it's working and you know, it looks.
That's good. You don't keep your egos together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you know what? You talk about communicating. I don't have a skill in this world except I know how to talk to people, and I know how to, and I don't make decisions.
You don't get offended.
Emotion.
No, that's the problem today. Everybody is offended. You can't talk to anybody without getting offended.
No.
You know, and I don't know how you are still, but I don't care if you get offended.
Yeah, and I don't care if you offend me. Just give me the medicine, whatever it is. I'd rather know because.
And we ain't got to agree on it.
Yeah, and I'm not a mind reader.
You walk off. Yeah. You know, I'll tell you about the guy John Belcher, the Mid-City Rock and Roll Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're on him right now because somebody at a Halloween costume had on "Where's Nancy" with a hammer on a Saturday night. Well, he posted it, okay, in poor taste, and
why was that poor taste?
Well, you know, because it's too soon, obviously.
Okay.
You know, so he put it up there, and he just put up there some kind of comment about for the first contestant, the best costume night. Well, you read the post, everybody goes, he even said it was the best costume. He didn't say it was the best costume. He said it was the first entry in the best costume contest. Yes. But people can't read. They read.
So what, are they attacking him?
Oh, dude, they're ready to protest and burn his place down.
You're kidding.
He had to stop his whole post and everything. I just saw somebody send it to me.
Why would they care? Because Pelosi and her husband are stealing money from it. Dude, like, so why would that many people be
You know, it is, but I read the post, and I'm like, you people can't read. All day, they don't take time. You know, Hannah, my middle one, who played basketball, she was at first slow. You know, everybody, Shannon, today gets diagnosed with something, okay, in school. Slow, she's slow. She has 18 different things. And I'm telling my wife, at the time, I'm like, my first one's fantastic, she's a genius. Second one, she's a little slow. I'm like, Hannah's not slow. She's just lazy. Okay? No. She's in second grade, whatever. I got to read a book to her. Okay, Hannah? Charles, you go on tonight, you're reading a book to her. All right, Hannah, what's it say? The dog, okay, is black. Okay. I mean, something that simple. All right, now read it back to me. And she can't read it back to me. And we work on it, So we go to the doctor and this and that. All the teachers tell you what your kid's wrong. And the doctor's giving me 35 different things. What's wrong with my kid? And Sonia's all concerned. And I'm sitting there and she goes, well, Mr. Tracey, what do you think about it, Mr. Tracey? I said, well, I think you're wrong. She's just lazy. He goes, what do you mean, how she's lazy? I said, listen, I teach her basketball. Well, that's good she plays. I said, she can do drills high school kids can't do because she wants to do it. Mm-hmm. She hates school. I said, so unless my wife lets me put my foot in her ass a few times, she will never get the dog is black because she don't care. Right. She comes home from school, throws a bag down, and she's out playing with her friends. She hated school. Yeah. She always hated school. She was an A student in high school because it mattered to her then. She became, it's like, hey, listen, they can call you stupid the rest of your life. You got to change it, or that's what you are. And over time, she changed it, but she had to work at it.
And she did it when she wanted to.
My oldest daughter would study for 10 minutes a week and make straight A's. Hannah studied for 10 hours a day and made straight A's. It's not fair. Right. Ain't nothing fair.
No.
Keep working.
Yeah.
Shut up. Keep working. If you're dumb, work harder. That's it.
If you're fat, lose weight.
Quit eating.
Yeah.
I got this problem, that problem, that. You know what your problem is? You put your hand too much to your face. Tie your hands behind your back, and you'll get thinner. Yeah. Medicine, pharmaceuticals, it's killing the world.
Killing the world, man.
I didn't take the shot.
Me either.
I don't go to the doctor.
Me either.
I got all my girlfriend's friends and all about my friends all got this. What you got wrong, Charles? I ain't got nothing. I'm going to see a doctor. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I'm stupid. That's my problem. That's just me being stupid. Nobody wants to put it on themselves anymore.
Right.
I tell them all the time at basketball, it's still the same thing. You're the prettiest person at an ugly party. Okay? Like what? Like, you're good on your team because everybody else is terrible. My kid's pretty good. Okay? Your kid's good because everybody else is bad. Don't get confused.
Yeah.
You're at the ugly party. Okay? You ain't at a GQ party. You're at the overweight, ugly party. And you're the best looking one. Congratulations. Now you got to keep working. Yeah. You got to keep working. There's always another level.
There's always another level.
You never can be satisfied.
Yeah.
I told you before about my watch. Yeah. It drives my girlfriend crazy. But it reminds me, I ain't never finished. It never clasped. It's a nice watch. She goes, get it fixed. I'm like, no, because when it comes undone, it realizes I got to keep going.
It's been coming undone a bunch.
Oh, it comes undone all the time. People are like, you're going to lose your watch. You're going to lose your watch. I'm not going to lose the watch. It just reminds me that I ain't finished. Like you said, I got to create a problem. Yeah. To keep me going. Otherwise, I ain't happy.
That same way.
And it ain't the best way to be.
As soon as I get to a certain point, it's like, how do I move the bar? How do I
go somewhere else?
How do I move? Yeah.
And I like the politics today.
You love it.
I love it because it's so simple. It's so simple, but they don't want simplicity. They want to cause the problems. The pharmaceuticals cause your problem. Yeah. When they're doing the vaccine, I'm like, listen, I got a cousin that's a doctor. Okay, he told me a long time ago about something. He goes, no, don't take that. It takes 15, 20 years to test something. They can give it to you in 6 months. Yeah. Okay, good.
But there's a lot of, but it's so crazy because we're not the only people that look at things objectively. And so you wonder how did they get so many people down this rabbit hole, man?
Here's my thing. I'm getting people mad. It stopped when we quit bullying people. You know, when you were in school, the weirdos just shut up and sat in the back.
Yep.
Well, now the weirdos are in politics, and they're running corporations, which is great. But you can't tell me this is orange. I'm not going with that because it's the best thing.
Yeah, to keep the peace.
To keep the peace. You know, not everybody's entitled, Sean. I work for corporations. We need transparency. No, you don't. No. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
You know, my greatest thing was being a corporate manager up in management. Then I realized, man, ain't a lot of good days. Because a big corporation, there's always a problem.
Always.
I like being where I didn't know the problem.
Or if there is a problem, I put it on myself, and I'm responsible. Yeah.
Well, here's how you fix it, but you can't fix it that way.
Yep.
You know, I mean you can't fix it that way. That's how you fix it. Well, we're going to offend the people. Well, get rid of those people. There's always a solution. We're just not willing to go down that path for the solution.
Yeah, it's like it just all fell off. It went off the tracks, man. And it's like it's death by 1,000 cuts.
You know,
it's that kind of thing.
It is, and it's scary because there's always going to be bad people.
Yeah.
There's always going to be bad people. Like, not going to bother you. They're going to bother you.
Well, they are, because they couldn't win the game the fair way, so they had to go change the rules.
I saw today the Supreme Court did one of the states where you actually have to put the date on the mail-in ballot. I guess it's got to match the mailing date ballot. And they're all mad.
But why?
Because you can put the date later on and make it, you know. I'm like, dude, they shouldn't be mail-in ballots. Unless you're handicapped in the military.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah, get up and walk and go vote.
Yeah.
You know, people's like, you're election denier. I'm not. It was done wrong. Everybody changed the rules to make it easy. When it's easy, they're going to cheat. That's Everybody right. is. You know, the PP money. And I just went out to, what they said, like $30 billion went to people outside the United States.
What about, there was like several million prisoners that got it. So they in jail scamming the government.
Anything the government does is going to screw it up.
Yeah.
You know, privatize it. Do something. The government isn't built to run programs.
They're built to build layers.
And get their friends involved. That's all it is. You know, and that's, like you say, you know, you and I talk, we laugh. I got no problem. You know, America was built on revolution. You know, get to a point where people are getting tired of it.
They are.
You know, and I feel bad for good people that I'm always being inconvenienced because of bad people. You know, to do anything nowadays.
To do anything?
Yeah. I mean, everything is an ordeal because of bad people.
Yeah, because I don't think the way that this works anymore, you know, now that they just came out with the Intercept, with the DHS, they basically had a pipe right into these social media networks and were taking this stuff down. And, you know, it's like, dude, this is no different than communism, really, at the end of the day. It's, you know, this is an illusion of there's an illusion of freedom. But what happened is, I think there's a really weak part of the population that they scared with COVID, you know, and so, you know, what is the saying that when you choose freedom, I mean, when you choose safety over freedom, you wind up with neither.
Exactly. Well, everything about scaring people now.
Scaring people. Yeah.
I watched a TV show, commercial the other day. They're trying to tell me my shower head is giving me diseases, bacteria. So you need to get a sterilized shower head.
It's fear-mongering.
It's fear. Everybody buys into the fear. You're going to die of COVID. Like, I'm 55 years old. I got pretty strong antibodies. I'll get over it. Your body's built to get over it.
But you know what's crazy? You know, this is the problem I have. And listen, I've got to put myself in check all the time because I have an idea of what to do, and I have the resources to do it.
Right.
But it's going to cause me a real problem.
Yeah.
You know, but
that's a dilemma.
This is what I don't understand, is that, and I'll give you an example. My doctor, when all this stuff started, I went and did my research. I knew ivermectin was good in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, you know, just because I'm like, I don't know what the hell these people are saying, but the people that I'm listening to and that I really trust,
right,
they're saying that having this here and treating it early, it eliminates it.
Right.
Which wound up being the truth at the end of the day.
Out, yeah.
So I called my doctor here locally, and I said, listen, I want you to prescribe this to me as a prophylactic. I'm going to be traveling a bunch because I was going to all these rallies. And so I want you he would not prescribe it to me, man. And I remember having this phone call with him.
Why not a doctor?
Well, listen, I called him and I said, this is the problem, is that this is the right thing to do. I'm telling you I want it. There's informed consent. I'm telling you that I want this, and you're refusing to write me this prescription, man.
Right.
This is a real problem. So I look at it. It's not the government. We need to start focusing on the people that are making the decisions, because that's the problem.
Yeah.
They just happen to be in the government.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, somebody said a while back, and it took me all this time to really think about it. Newell Norman. Mm-hmm. I listen to him quite a bit, back and forth on the radio. And he said, listen, when Biden got elected, he goes, man, it's a nightmare, probably. He said, but focus on your local stuff. Yep. Because local is going to affect you 98% of the time. Okay? But now, with Trump doing executive stuff, everybody's going around Congress and that kind of stuff, which is probably highly illegal at some point.
I'm sure it is.
Depends on what you argue, the point. Now it's affecting you.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's affecting you. I live in St. Tammany. We go to New Orleans. Dude, the minute I get to New Orleans, I'll put the gun on the seat. Yep. Because you never know what's going to happen. It's not like you can be, okay, I'm doing the day. Doesn't matter anymore.
No.
Used to be, you knew when it was going to be tough.
Listen, I won't even, when I'm in New Orleans, I won't pull right up behind somebody. I'm watching him rearview mirror. Because, dude, they're getting out and trying to carjack you in the middle of the daylight,
And that's a societal problem. Yeah. Because we don't do enough for the right people.
That's right.
And obviously, I believe Democratic Party. I'm neutral. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm just common sense.
Exactly.
There are great things on the left and great things on the right. Yeah. And there are absolute morons on the left and absolute morons on the right. We got away from the middle. Okay? Because a bunch of nuts took it up. Yeah. And we're like, okay, well, maybe they got a point. No, they don't have a point.
Nope.
When you said something dumb at your house, your dad shut you down right away.
Yeah.
My dad shut us down right away. Now we have to entertain dumb people. I told Caleb and Jesse, and I get problems with my kids that train. I'm like, when you're on a high school team and one of your teammates tells you something, and that kid eats bonbons and plays video games at the time, tell him to fucking drop dead. Yeah. Because he doesn't get to tell you what you've been doing for 12 months of the year. You don't listen to an idiot.
And that's what we're doing right now.
As we do now. My girls, when I train girls, I love training girls because unlike boys, girls will listen to you. I can teach Caleb something. He's going to turn it into LeBron James move. Like, Caleb, you're 5'9". Take it easy.
Right.
Okay? Just do what I tell you to do and be fine. But girls would do exactly. I tell my girls all the time, if everybody on your basketball team likes you, you're doing it wrong. And all my best girls, and I've had some MVPs, outstanding girls, they're not liked. You're not supposed to be liked. Because half to 3/4 of your team can't play basketball. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to them, you're in trouble. You're it. You're the coach.
Yeah.
You know as much as your coach.
The Last Dance. Michael Jordan didn't listen to nobody.
I'm not listening to you. Yeah. You listen to me, and we're going to be okay.
That's it.
Otherwise, you're off. I have some of my girls now, they come back and go, man, Coach, I didn't realize, 9 out of 10 girls can't play basketball. They're on a team, but they can't play basketball. You're not listening to those people. In life, you don't listen to those. No. And I listened until I was 30. Yeah. And my dad allowed me to do that because it's being respectful. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a line. I look at Sean and Dennis, and they're like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's what I ain't never listened to neither one of them.
So now, I listen, and I eat crow all the time. I don't mind. I got no problem eating crow. But if I know it, I'm going forward.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to do my thing. And hopefully that works out for us all. So hopefully, it works out. Say in the government, it works out, hopefully. How are you doing with your social media, though?
I'm doing good.
Yeah? I mean, with your Facebook and all that?
We're doing good. When we brought Shannon in.
Yeah?
Yeah, so this was a blessing in disguise. And listen, anybody that's watching this, I wish I would have started doing this 10 years ago because this content, It's evergreen, dude. It's yeah, man, and it never goes away, and you don't even have to be good at it first. Listen, man, we're just getting started doing this stuff, so we're learning as we go. But
it gives people perspective.
It gives people perspective, dude. And listen, we love doing this podcast. First of all, I have a lot of friends like you that have done some really cool things, man. And we've focused a lot on the people that are pouring into the kids. We had Lydia. Right. We had Lydia on. We had
who's Lydia?
Lydia at North Shore Academy of Dance.
Okay, yeah.
Where Faith goes to dance. She's had there for 25 years. You know, I'm going to have Duke on. Robbie Green. That trains a lot of the LSU football player.
Okay,
so people that are in the community, man, doing good stuff. You know, we'll be launching a product to the small and medium business market. That's going to be a really great product. And so, you know, us championing and being involved. My sales, we work in the enterprise world right now. So all of my sales are on Zoom calls, on phone. I don't get a lot of face-to-face with people. And so as we were launching this big product in the first quarter of next year.
Right.
We said, man, we have to go and pour into the local community because I want to feel the heartbeat of what we're dealing with these big businesses. They're totally detached from what a small business has to work.
No question.
And so we said, you know what, why don't we make this studio? We'll start inviting local business people in. We'll highlight them. They don't even have to be doing business with us.
Right.
We tell the stories that we think are the important stories, people that are doing really great things that we really admire what they're doing. And you're one of them, man. And so it's been the best thing we've ever done. And then Shannon came in, and now we're filming stuff. People want to consume. What happens in this new internet age is if you can train them and you do it with consistency, we're bringing value. It's really a marketing channel, but we're kind of talking about life, dude, because it's all weaved and it's all one and the same to me, you know. And
that's what good people do. You know, I use Heather and Holly all the time because I can talk to them all day because it goes from dude, A to Z.
Listen,
and it covers some of the things I love. I'm like, you two are absolutely batshit crazy. You know that, Charles. We're not because they believe it.
Yeah,
and I love their passion. But it's good passion.
It is.
It's not like, he shot 4 or 5 people. He shot 5 people. He's a good person. No, we're not getting into that argument.
No.
You know, it's not that far off the rails.
Yeah, but
they're into it.
Dude, those girls have a great mind, man.
Brother, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, like you with your wife, unfortunately, I never started a business that I could involve my wife in because had I had a business, a real business, not a sports business, we'd have been zillionaires because she's the hardest working person I know. Honest, phenomenal person. Great mother. You know, I was with her for 35 years. You know, I still love her. Not a day goes by I don't think about her. But we just weren't good together. You know, but you had to realize this is not good. You know, but if I had a business, she'd run the whole thing. I always thought when I got married, all right, here's the plan. I'm going to work till I'm 40. I'll do all the work. I'm going to work till I'm 40. Stay at home. At 40, I'm going to quit my job, find a lesser job, if need be. You get a job, and you make 60, I make 80. We do 140, and we live the rest of our life. That was the plan. You know, it didn't work out that way.
No.
You know, I mean, I had to get to a point where I'm it. I'm it. You know, and she loved being the housewife, stayed. But if I had a business like you have with her, run the whole thing and everything being on time, doing that. You know?
Well, dude, listen, it's always challenging because I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
But you know, she's doing it for the right reason.
Yeah. And so, but I've learned because the 3 or 4 really bad business decisions that I've made, every one of them, you know, we discussed it because there was a lot of money at stake.
Sure.
And I lost every time. And
right.
She recommended that we not do it every time. And so at this point, I'm about to go broke. And I had to have the talk with myself, said, listen,
whatever she says,
you need to put some boundaries in place in some of these big things because she's batting 1,000 and and it's cost you a lot of money and a lot of heartache, man. And so I finally let go of that ego where it's like, you're killing my dream. You're killing, I'm just, because I was making so much money, dude, it didn't matter. Like, dude, I thought I'd just go plant another tree. Just go plant another tree.
Right.
Well, guess what? The tree stopped growing at some point. And so now, guess what? Any big decision, I'm glad.
But
I
it
have
makes
it
you
there.
alive. It keeps you alive, Sean.
Dude, yeah.
It keeps you alive.
So now she lets me, doesn't let me. Listen, there's an
She
understanding.
better.
I'm in my best place when got one foot on the plank and one foot's off the plank.
Brother,
and the only way that I know that next foot is I got to be out there on faith, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you say yeah. Okay. I get that. I hinder myself. I don't know the word for that, but I'm my own worst enemy. Mm-hmm. I do it to myself because I got to feel alive. I got to feel like.
And feeling alive is having some risk.
It's having a lot. I got no problem with risk, which has always been my problem. Yep. I don't do it. Don't tell me don't do it.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to do it and I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
Like Chris Capo tells me all the time. He gives me great advice. Great guy. Great
he's a great business.
Phenomenal person.
Yep.
He goes, you're an idiot. I'm like, I know, Chris. I can't help it, though. He goes, you've given your business away again. I'll start it all over again. I started off in a half a gym where I started from. Yeah. Half court.
You already got muscle memory to do this, dude. I know how to get back to the 2 courts. 200 kids, I can get back there.
Dude, I got 150 kids. I'm making as much money as I was when I had 2 courts with 6 people. Yeah. I'm just doing it a little different. And that keeps me alive. It keeps me going.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. Like, okay, how can I do it better now? Because you always want to make it better. And, you want to make it last longer. I want to give it to Jesse or Mark or Callie. I got one of my girls who I trained a long time with my daughter. She's with me. And, they're not risk takers. I keep telling them, there's the business. Take the business. It's yours. I try to give it to them the other day. I'll help you. Here's the business. Just pay me $3,000 a month. What? Pay me $3,000 a month, and it's your business. I'll stay with you, and I'll help you through. They've been with me about a year and a half, 2 years now, and they're like, "Whoa, it's on you now. It ain't Charles's. It's on you." And I'm like, they don't want to jump at it, and I'm like, okay. So I took it back, still doing it, loving it, But I'm like, I want somebody. I've always been trying to find me. Mm-hmm. I've had bosses. I was telling the girl I'm with now, I've had 2 people protect me for about 20 years. Because my boss told me, because Charles, the problem with you is you're never going to be a corporate executive. I'm like, yeah, I am. Because I'm way better than you, and I'm a leader. You got a problem, you give it to me, I fix it. You take credit for it, and you pay me. I don't care. Right. You can have that. I said, but I'm going to be an executive. That was my goal. My old man was, and he made it. I saw how Bacardi went. I said, I can definitely want to do this, But he goes, Charles, you scare people. At a business meeting one time, he told me that. I'm like, what? He goes, you're never going to make it to that level because you scare people.
Mm-hmm. You're unpredictable.
Yeah.
You're not in a box.
Because you're actually going to do what you say you're going to do. People hear your idea and go, that guy's nuts. Because you actually go do it. Mm-hmm. Like, well, what's the option? I ain't going to say something and do something else. That's why I had to get out the corporate world. Yeah. Because I had a Dan Leonardi. It'd be like your next football coach left the last team. They were 0-11. But he knows what he's talking about. Yeah. What? These coaching cycles go from one team to the other. Yeah. That's just friends. It's like boarding school for rich people. They do that so they can keep pushing them around from, board to company. They're not any good. No. It's just a cycle they're doing.
Yeah, it's like they recirculate these guys.
They recirculate it because we're friends. Yeah. And that's, dude, I wouldn't take a chance on somebody who's never done anything. Or has been in the business, but never been a boss. That's I'm take a chance on him. You've been a loser for 3 times in a row. Well, it's a different situation. Yeah. No, it's not. No. It's not. Pharmaceuticals give you medication. It's going to fix you. It's not. No. It causes this. Listen to one of those commercials for whatever it is. And 3/4 of the commercial is all the stuff it's going to do to you. Yeah. Well, why the hell am I going to take that?
I think some people they take it because of the side effects.
Well, as you get older, my mother did it because she liked to socialize at hospital. And hospitals know that. Right. My dad had great insurance. They would pick my mom up from the house and bring her to the hospital because they pay for everything. I'm like, Mama, you're 70 years old, 75 years old. You got a lot of things wrong with you. They ain't fixing it. They give you another medication to go by. Yeah. It's crazy. But they do it to everybody. Everybody's over-medicated.
Everybody's over-medicated.
Yeah. I'm amazed at the amount of people our age and what they're taking. Mm-hmm. I take vitamins.
That's all I take too.
I take 3 vitamins. And that's it. And I'm healthy I mean, listen, there's a lot of things wrong with me.
Oh, I know there is.
You know? Yeah, but I'm fine with it. I deal with it.
Yeah.
Pain. You know, I got pain like this. You gonna take anything? No. Just deal with it. It will go away. The heel will go away.
Yeah, that's.
I tore my shoulder working out. Man, it's killing me.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm still benching too. You know, I need people to help me. Guy goes, man, I can hear your arm. I'm like, I know. Just hold it for a second.
And it'll just fix itself.
You'll be fine. I need 7. I need 7. Help me on the last 2. And the arm is going. I can hear it. You can hear it.
Right.
But I'm getting 7. You know, and the guy's like, man, how long? That's about like 6 months. It ain't gonna heal.
No.
But I'm fine with the pain. I can deal with the pain.
Yeah.
I ain't taking medication.
You done figured shit out, dude. That's what you do. Is hey, this is what's in front of me, and this is what I got to do today, and you just do it, man.
Yeah, you know, there's no you know, I tell all people all the time, there's no exit plan. You know, we're going. That's it. We're not going backwards.
Yeah.
Everybody, one of my last jobs, when I left, I was helping a friend out, and they had 3 exit strategies. And I'm like, okay, that was the last day. Boom, out. He goes, Mom, dude, you got more exit strategies. We got 6 exit strategies. Yeah, but we got a plan in case this doesn't work. It's going to work.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to work. Corporately, corporate work, first started out doing corporate. Man, they would change. They'd do a platform, a program. They'd put everybody together, spend $1 million to launch it. And 3 months into it, they change it because somebody else is doing something else. I was like, you spent all this money for this idea.
Shiny object syndrome, huh, Shannon?
Yeah.
That's
somebody else does something.
Yep.
And we do training.
Yeah.
Well, I get all my trainers to, well, they're doing this and this and this and this and this and this. We're teaching average kids how to play basketball. Okay? We got high school kids who can't grab a rim. Don't worry about, I'm not teaching Kevin Durant stuff.
That's right.
Because they don't have Kevin Durant either. Kevin Durant doesn't know how to play basketball. He's just 7 foot tall and knows how to shoot a ball.
Sure.
Okay? He ain't all that can of worms. He's just 7 foot tall. You say about today's youth versus the GOAT. I know you get the GOAT thing.
Yeah.
I'm fighting with people on Facebook right now about Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. And they're telling me Tiger Woods is the GOAT because he's won more tournaments and the majors don't really mean anything, and they're better players now. They're all young people. I'm like, I don't look at it that way. I'm telling you there's more bad people playing than there was when Jack Nicklaus played. They didn't have as many tournaments. And if you play golf, you're a good golfer. Now, there's a zillion people playing golf.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Out there. That's not, you got 31 teams. How many good quarterbacks you got in the NFL?
Not maybe half of that.
7, 10 good ones.
Real good.
Everybody else is just waiting to get traded or waiting to get cut.
Yep.
So today's a better age? No.
It's just a different thing.
It's a different thought process.
The whole thing is different. Yeah, I've never been able to really track back and say this one's better than this one. They were where would they are in the era? Yeah.
Tiger Woods, the technology now changes the game.
And look at how much these guys are sports performance training now. Man, golfers didn't used to do that. They were just regular looking Joes that knew how to freaking hit that little white ball.
I mean, football players back in the day had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
They had football season and off they call
salesmen doing insurance. And they'd smoke cigarettes on the
Drink
sidelines.
Beer. Yeah. But you don't want to get a fight with them.
No.
And all these guys now, all they're doing is hurt. They're all hurt. I laugh. All these guys. It needs to change because they need to pay police, firemen, nurses, real people now.
They need to be making the money.
They need making the money. It needs to be a cultural shift.
Yep.
Quit paying the lawyers. Every time I see Morris Ball on TV, I want to get through the screen and strangle him. Because every time he makes $1, you and I are paying more.
Yeah. Them lawyers pay me a lot of money.
Lawyers pay you a lot of money?
A lot of money.
I mean, I'm in a fight now with a bunch of people. I'm always in a fight with people.
Yeah.
I just fight to fight, with insurance. You can't get insurance. There's a friend we have now who has an $800,000 house who can't sell her house because the insurance company, for people trying to buy, won't sell them insurance because the house floods. They get mad at insurance companies. if you're an insurance company, I wouldn't insure a house that flooded. Why would you do that? You know what? Tear the house down and move. All my friends that live in Galliano and LaRose and Cutoff and Grand Isle, move.
Yeah. Or you just know this is what comes with it.
You know, the girl I'm dating now is pretty wealthy. She belongs on a beach. Because when her house blows down, she rebuilds it, she don't build it. I'm not paying for her house.
Right.
Rich people belong on water.
That's right.
If you ain't rich,
you shouldn't be on
you shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're rich, but you and I are paying for that. I'm tired of paying for everybody else's stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do that anymore.
No, man.
But everybody's mad at insurance companies. You know?
Yeah, because I don't even think after these hurricanes, man, there's not many insurance companies even working around here
They're mad
anymore.
at 67% increase in insurance.
Yeah.
You have to make, they're in to make money. You know, are they ripping you off? Yeah.
Dude,
Your insurance, you're screwing people.
There's no doubt. Did you see, I saw yesterday the stat that they said in the month of October, this was like a national financial stat, 40% of small, medium businesses could not pay their rent. And I'm hearing from other people that work in the insurance industry that you know, maybe are like an account person, that the phone calls coming in, people are like, man, can I put this on payments? You know, they're starting to pay groceries with credit cards. They say credit card debt's going through the roof. Really? So it's almost like, man, this thing, you know, I don't think people realize how close we are to the wheels coming off.
Yeah, yeah. People don't, and they don't tell you that. Yeah. Not in their best interest to tell you that until it actually happens, and they blame somebody else. Yeah. But it's such fundamental things that are just common sense. Things change.
Things change. You got to be ready to change with it.
You got to be ready to change with it, you know, and you got to quit studying things. You know, we pay all money for study things that you know is common sense. Yeah, I just don't get that.
No.
You know, and you look at the politics now. Trump, he's an idiot. I got 3 girls. He tries dating one of my daughters, I got to kill him. Mm-hmm. You ain't dating one of my daughters.
But you don't think so? Listen, dude, Trump is such
But his message was, he had a good message. He was a bad person.
But maybe there's another way to look at that, though, is at the point the country was in when he got elected, you needed somebody that was just going to deliver the medicine, unedited, no filter, no finesse, because the truth just needed to just be told, especially around the media, you know, especially the way that he went after the media, because he woke a lot of people up the way the media works.
Oh, listen, if you go back and track all the crazy things he said, when he first got in, he goes, I'm being bugged, I'm being tapped. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my God, dude, shut up. They're not tapping you. They were tapping him.
Yeah.
They were bugging his business while he was running for the presidency because they thought he was a bad person. You know, 4 years. You get 4 years and you're out. Steve Scalise, get him out. Yep. I know everybody over here loves Steve Scalise.
Well,
get him out.
Why? Where's he been?
You know, he does it. He tells you what you already know.
That's right.
I don't need you to tell me what I already know.
I don't think a lot of them want to talk up because they're all doing the same thing, man.
Listen.
It's a club.
You heard me tell Caleb and all these guys my little message. I don't have a financial advisor because the 2 I had called and told me after the market crashed. I'm like, listen, you asshole. I don't need you to tell me on Tuesday the market crashed on Monday. I knew Monday too, you asshole.
Right.
I'm paying you to tell me on Friday so I can get out Friday. Politics, they tell you after it happens. Trump wasn't that way. He told you before it happened. Well, that's not true. I mean, they're getting crazy about Twitter. The media owns NBC, CBS, ABC, Facebook, Disney, ESPN. They own everything, and they're worried about Twitter. Like, hold on, you own 8 things, and the right owns now Twitter, and you're mad. You know, dude, clear Washington out. Clear it out, run them all out, and get 4 years and you're out. Young people, you can't vote. How old are you, Shannon?
22.
You can't vote. She don't know enough. She's not worldly enough. Mm-hmm. I told my girls, don't vote. Y'all too dumb to vote right now. My oldest one can. Rebecca, on voting day, I'm taking her to lunch. I'm keeping her hostage in the car. I had no idea what she was going to vote for. They don't know anything. They're not worldly. You know, I love seeing kids now. They're all liberals, and what's this being taken out for? Well, you're paying for 84 different things now. I don't want to pay for that. Oh, yeah, you're paying for it now. Because the government just pays for everything. You know, they want to make government big.
That's right.
So they employ everybody and take care of everybody. They want you dumb and stupid.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
You know, I'm just happy they won't be getting 85,000 IRS agents after they take over Congress.
Oh, they'll cancel that.
They'll cancel that. Boom.
Yeah. That's to go recover some of that PPE money.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, listen, Sean. if I'm doing the same thing right now, I'm 57 at 67, and another virus happens, and you do PPP, I'm applying for $3.5, $4 million. I'm taking the $4 million. I'm
getting out of Dodge.
I'm gone. At 60, I'm doing it.
Right.
Okay. At 60, I got a whole slate of things I'm doing at 60. My life's over with. You put me in jail at 60, ain't nobody gonna mess with. I'm too old. Ain't nobody gonna screw a 60-year-old man.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm in jail. I'll just talk to young guys, teach them basketball in jail. You know, lift weights, get 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
Anybody screwing me? I'm 60 years old.
No, they ain't gonna screw you.
No. You know, I'll be fine. You know, but a whole bunch of shit's gonna happen when I turn 60.
A lot of.
Yeah, because I've done my life.
Yeah.
I'm happy with who I am, what I've done. You know, you got to spread good. You know, I got a lot of good, a lot of bad, but got a lot of good going.
I think you do too, brother. Well, you know what, dude? I think that might be the cue
That's it.
To wrap this up. Dude, listen. I love
You,
you.
just hold on. Just tell me I was better than Holly and Heather.
Dude, listen. You were unbelievable.
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You have been Shannon.
Shannon, was I better than Holly and Heather?
It's hard to compare.
Oh, Shannon. See,
There
Shannon,
was only one.
Shannon, yes or no? Don't explain. Yes or no?
You got to jump.
3, 2, 1. Oh, see, she went to female side.
Oh, Jesus.
At least I appreciate that.
Yeah, she's sticking with her side.
Yeah, well, she don't know nothing, but it's fine.
Well, dude, I'm glad I was able to have you on today, brother. Listen, dude,
Hey,
I highly respect what you're doing, man. You're doing a great thing out
You've
there
been a
with
great
these
friend,
kids, dude. And
I love you to death.
Yeah, dude, it was a lot
Not
of fun.
many people like us anymore. You know,
Yeah.
that